Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Hey, you're Dustin. Hi, Cop. Let's start this evening. It is late. Been really, really busy today. It's been horrendous. I'm just hoping that... Does the sound work? Can you all hear me? Can you hear me okay? Been titting about with the sound for ages. Yes, you can. Marvellous. Music I'll turn down a little bit when we go. Back in a couple of minutes. You're Hindenburg. Don't recognise that name. Thank you so much for popping it over on the tubes. Sounds good. Cheers, Samus. Glad it's working. Glad it's all good.
His name is John C.
Doesn't sound like the music's coming through on the old on Discord. The music's not coming through. That's a bit worrying. We'll have to sort that out later. Sorry, you people over on Discord. Nice to see you. We're going to be talking about the sounds good on Twitch. Perfect. We're going to be going through the GM update. We'll talk about that. See what it sounds like. See what it goes through. You're going to get my live instant reaction to that. All you people over on Discord, obviously, if you want to come and join us, you can either go to Twitch, twitch.tv/itslube, or you can go onto my YouTube channel. Look up It's Lube on YouTube if you want to watch on YouTube. I'd rather you be on Twitch. I'm trying to get to make sure we've got 75 people on Twitch. 75 people is what we're going for. That'd be lovely. I hear the music and I'm deaf. Yeah, you're on YouTube. It's Discord where I don't think the music's coming through for some reason, which means that the sound alerts and stuff won't come through on there either, which is irritating. But let me try it. Who cares about Discord? Nobody cares about Discord. Let me try and replay something.
And his name is John C.
It definitely works on the stream. It's not coming through on YouTube, on Twitter, on Discord. I can sort that. I can sort that crap later. Irritating, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. You mean the elevator music? Yeah. No. Yeah, you'll be able to hear it on YouTube, but you won't be able to hear it on Discord. I think all you Discordians won't be able to hear me. You'll be able to hear me, but you won't be able to hear the sound alerts, which isn't a big problem. Boom, ba-dum, bum, boom, boom. Okay, let's dive into this. Let's take a look. Where were we? Couple of quick thank yous to all you beautiful people while we jump in. Thank you so much to Samasaran. Thank you so much for the resub with Prime. That's 3 months. That's insane. Thank you. Benny Hill.
Buy more packs. Buy more packs.
Thank you very much. Turn that music down a bit. It's deafening me. Let's crank that down a fraction. There we go. Music should be a bit quieter now. A little bit more in the background. Doesn't sound like Darth Kermit. No. Benny Hill, 5 stream streak, thank you. Zek, thank you so much. 16 months, buddy. Oh, sorry, 21 months total. Thank you. That's incredible. Thank you. Benny Hill, thank you for your 5 beautiful bits. Good evening, all. Good evening, Savage Darkness. Smacker, nice to see you. Yo, AQ. Right, I want to just check as well if Stewie's... Oh, my God. It's not working in the UK again. It's still not allowing people to watch on Twitch. I have just no clue. Why is it doing this?
Is it?
I'm on Twitch and in the UK. Did have to turn off your VPN though. Okay. Seriously, Twitch still not working for us from you. Grumps, can you see the Twitch stream? See my base? Yeah. You can see the Twitch stream, so it's just Stewie. Stewie, are you using a VPN? Can you try just turning it off for a second and seeing if it works? I don't know why you would have to. Turn it off for a second. Kind of works no face cam. But the game is up. If you want to see me, you can. It's very, very red in here at the moment. I need to prat about with that as well. Okay. Nigel is very low. Is Nigel here?
Yes, I am here. Lou?
I can't even hear Nigel.
Hello? Lou? Everyone can hear me, right?
Oh, sweet Jesus of Nazareth.
Let's have a look.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nigel, say
Quasar
something.
can hear me. Yeah. Through a tube?
No, see, I can't even hear him. This is just an absolute catastrophe. Weird scratching noise in the background. That's probably Nigel.
No, that's...
I can see him going through the road. Why is he not
buzz.
coming through my headphones?
There's a buzz on your track.
Would it be a stream without an audience? It wouldn't be a stream without me. But... bad or loud? No, it's not the mute. No, because I can see him coming through. I can see him hitting the stream. Very, very red. It is very red.
Yeah, I'm not coming through on stream loop.
Okay, right.
Oh no, I am. It's just very, very low. Okay.
Nigel, talk now.
Okay. There you go, matey. Hello, Nigel.
Oh, I think I got you then. Hi, Patrick. I have no clue why it's doing that. No, but the thing is, I haven't changed anything.
Turned mine up too.
I've changed nothing.
Loop, something is going on with your microphone. That's just...
It was working a second ago.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, I think it works fine through the announcement.
Okay, just turn him up.
Okay. Reduced mine.
Honestly, he's capping out. He's capping out at my side. YouTube, you can hear everybody but me, but I can't hear Nigel, which is, I mean, some would say that that's a blessing.
Ah!
But I can't hear him.
You can't hear me. Let me restart just in case it's my side. I'll be back.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Don't know if I've got time for this crap. Genuinely don't know if I've got time for this crap today. No, I can't hear any of you on Twitch. on Discord. I can't hear any of you.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm there for you.
I don't think it's the road. Well, it's the Discord settings. Hi, Happy Cat. Screw me. I know. Guys, I can't do this. I can't stream like this. I know that sounds really, really stupid. I just can't do it. I can't allow this to be stuff that goes out. It's irritating. It's irritating the crap out of me. Virtual cable. Thing is, Discord doesn't run through virtual cables. Discord runs straight through the road.
Yeah, it does. How do I sound now to people? There you go.
Input device. So that wants to be. So if that's the input device.
Yeah, I sound good now.
There was an
great.
OBS update, but that shouldn't affect it. The stream should be fine. You should be able to see me. Hello, you should be able to see me. You should be able to hear me. I just can't hear the Twitch. The Discord. It's annoying.
So we just let Loops shut
Hello.
up and Nigel and I am
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Yeah.
I can hear you both now.
Great. Amazing.
Okay.
Great. Amazing.
I'm not going to press anything. It's set up totally how it shouldn't be. By the way, it totally shouldn't be set up that way.
Okay.
At
But you
all.
sound better now.
I sound
Massively
better.
Yeah.
Okay, you're coming through the absolute wrong feed. You're coming through to the Twitch. You can hear me. I'm not going to touch anything, and I'll sack my audio guy.
Also, I do like coming through the wrong feed, if you know what I mean.
The backdoor feed. Right, okay. Right, I'm touching nothing. I am touching absolutely nothing. Okay, boom. Not touching anything. It works. I can hear you. You can hear me. The levels are coming through right. That's basically as good as we're going to get today. Done.
Great.
Right. I want to talk about Connor's thing. I want to talk about the anniversary events. I want to talk about the AMS, because I've heard about 50 people ask about the AMS. You can't hear the sound alerts. Do you know what?
And his name is John C.
That's definitely coming through to the stream.
Yeah, 100% coming through. Yeah.
Can you hear that on Discord?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
time.
No, you should have always been able to hear them because it worked fine. Okay, we've still got an issue whereby certain people aren't able to even open the stream, which is irritating. Stewie can't even get in the stream, which is just mind blowing. But it could be some.
Yeah, but maybe there's a Twitch issue. Might be unrelated to you.
It's got to be a Twitch issue. It's got to be a Twitch issue because if the fact that there's 70 odd people of you here that are able to see me, fine, right, okay. I was starting to get on my wick, that if I'm being honest. So I want to talk about the anniversary heist. I want to talk about the inability for
I've never
people.
been on live television before, but apparently sometimes I don't watch I don't watch the news, and I've never ever been on live television because I'm a kid, and apparently Grandpa just gives me the remote after we watch the Powerball. I just freak out.
Oh, very good.
Oh dear.
Very good. So we'll talk about the anniversary events. We'll go through that. You can kind of see with the red light district. I know. Hello. Do you know? I mean, it might even be better, if I just turn this off. Let me turn that off. I know you can't see me all now. Aware of that. Let me just put a rail light on for now. That'll sort itself out later, and we'll. I need to tidy that up later anyway. Oh. And breathe. Good God, that's dark. And breathe.
And everyone take a breath. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Nut House with It's Lou.
We're back. Thank God for that. Thank God for
Exactly,
that.
and after our audio technical abilities, which will be not available on Sky Sports or anything like that,
No.
we can now deal with Lube going about the GM update. What's coming up, Lube?
Oh yeah, well we're going to go. I just have nothing. I just honestly, I'm so mad with the fact that it didn't work. I'm so annoyed that stuff doesn't work, and it should.
It happens.
It's
You
irritating.
fixed it.
Well, I haven't
on.
though. Happy Cat, thank you so much for the subscription.
Chickens on a banana.
Kinda.
Chickens on a
What is that? Why is there a banana right in front of your face? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, that is good. Minnie, thank you for gifting that tier 1 sub to Happy Cat. Thank you, I appreciate it. Everything was better. I appreciate that. But, okay. I want to talk about the anniversary events. I want to talk about the GM's update. I haven't even looked at the GM update today, which I've done on purpose. Purposefully. I wanted to open it and I wanted to give my honest reaction, frank reaction, to just see what I thought, because I've not looked at it. Straight to doesn't work for me, unexpected error, so we're happy on YouTube. Annoying. Anyway, poof. It's a long letter. I'm not talking about any more problems though. I cannot make it work. What can't you make work? Did I see the video download was cancelled? Yeah, there's a problem in certain places. There's a problem in certain places where the stream's not allowing it to come through. I have no idea why. Something to do with the VPN. People that was accessing through a VPN was causing a problem. But hopefully that'll sort itself out.
Maybe Copyri is taking over. You need to buy the free stream pack.
Yeah. Anyway. So annoyed. Right, state of the game, November 2025. Let's have a look at this. Let's take a look through this. I feel less like in a red light district. Yeah, it's a lot less like that now. It's like a yellow light district now. I need to play about with that as well, but it's better than it was. We need to talk plainly about the last few months, especially November. Since I began drafting this update, I've spoken directly with players, read the recent survey responses, met with content creators to understand where you are at today. I wasn't one of them, by the way. I've rewritten this message more than once as new issues came in. Publishing earlier would have felt out of touch with the reality that you were facing. So let's talk about that first sentence to start with. Obviously, we was expecting this a few weeks ago. We was expecting that within a few weeks ago. If he's taken the time out and said things weren't quite right, and me posting an update when we knew that stuff was happening that was going wrong, it would have felt very out of touch. So I don't mind. I'm being honest with you. I don't mind that it got postponed a little bit. That doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me the fact that they postponed it a little bit if that's the genuine reason that they wanted to capture anything else. But we'll keep going in. I'm sorry for the delay and the frustration this release has caused. I share that disappointment. I know trust is earned by what we ship and not what we say. As a team, we started a journey to make a difference in your experience since the mid-year and didn't deliver. Being honest again. Today I'll keep this focused. Specific changes, clear dates, our commitments. I'll cover what we learned from Outposts, G7, where we are on stability, how we're evolving the mid-ops arc, which I think is a shining light. I'll be honest with you. I think this is a shining light. I really, really do. And how I plan to communicate going forward. Starting with Outposts. Outposts have always been intended to be an exciting addition to the game. They add in challenge, variety, and new puzzles to overcome and solve. They are a change to the regular targets in the game. They represent variable experience and difficulty over time. We originally planned to enable and disable them depending on the current meta of the game. I've said since day one that these need to be a permanent fixture. Thank you so much as well, by the way. We're 53% of the way through level 1 hype train. I don't deserve that today. It's been horrendous. Thank you to everybody that's dropped bits while I tried to get a load of that sorted. I want to come to that Swedish chef, because I don't think I disagree so far. Discovering the galaxy, breathing life into the universe, and changing background to your day-to-day play. These past weeks have presented challenges, but the feature itself still represents that experience. They create a space for new crews New cruisers a bit wide of the mark and provide a different experience for setting up your ships to hold a position for an extended time. Different tweaks and changes can be added to these in the future to reflect where the game is going and what's happening to the story in the galaxy. But based on responses from players, we'll be changing our outpost not to be a scheduled game activity. So, let me just explain what that means for anybody that hasn't already seen the thing. So rather than this being a Saras's invasion, a crucible of war, come back, disappear, come back every now and again, rather than it be one of those mechanics, an event structure mechanic, rather than that, it's now going to be a permanent addition to the game. It is now a permanent loop. And I'm being 100% honest with you, I'm so happy that they've done that, because there are certain rewards that are locked behind outposts that I think we need. I don't know if you disagree, Nige, but I think that's one of the... We've talked about this before. I think you totally agree that this is something that we should have had from day one. This should have been a day one mechanic.
Yeah, 100%. I'm glad they sort of announced it and made it permanent. It's something really vital for the players and something they desperately need, especially when you've got the vengeance behind it. You've got other things behind it that are quite useful. And then the question that we've always had was... with the cadence and investment problem, in that when do you think you would ever get this event again? Like Saras invasions end up being delayed multiple times, other things get delayed multiple times. This means it's always on, which means we know that the refinery's there, which means we can fuel it. I just hope that they keep the starts exactly the same, as in one every 2 days, and you just keep getting it like on a drip. Then we're definitely onto something that's really good. Fantastic. Thank you very much. That outpost discussion was done quite a lot, multiple times. So I'm glad that they've taken the feedback on and push it through.
Completely agree. So I'm saying now, how do we actually get the things to start? So the start tokens are in your gift section. Obviously, that is currently set to expire at the end of December. So if we just quickly jump back into game, we'll notice that in the gift section, the bundle itself has only got 6 days and 20 hours left on it, so it ends at the end of November. So if this is the way that they're going to continue to source it, all they need to do is change that bundle to a permanent bundle and throw it in the building ship resources bundles. So it gets added in to the auto claim. That's literally all that we need to do. So that sourcing has to remain, and that's the one part of the outpost specific section of the state of the game. The bit that I've praised, I'm happy that they've brought that in to be a permanent mechanic, but the sourcing is going to be the crux as to whether it's actually good or not. Okay? That's it. They have to continue the same drip they've got now. One start every 2 days. My opinion, I think that's about right to where it needs to be. There are other issues with outposts, which I'm hoping he's going to address in a second. Different tweaks and changes over time, we've gone through that. Changing outposts not to a scheduled game activity. We will have them available to interact with all the times. Doesn't really make sense. Without us needing to run a special event to start them, we continue to follow our plan to make time to run special events and add rewards so that you get from running them, but they will always be available. More information on that change can be found here, linked to a previous blog post. However, with the launch, we have also cancelled a number of upcoming features, as it is clear the changes we have made in the past months are not resulting in an improved experience. You have asked for more focused on fixes, and we are making that space. Right now, a number of unannounced features and some updates planned for the first half of 2026 are delayed indefinitely as we focus on what's currently live. We will be working on specific areas of the game. We'll start and we'll tackle the coming up with a list here. Now, this bit. This is something that people have talked about for 5 years plus. Obviously, we're on the 7th year anniversary now, about to approach. This is a scary sentiment to me. People always said, stop releasing new stuff and fix bugs. People always said that, and they never did it. They never did it for a couple of reasons. The first thing is that was only a portion of the player base. Some people that max things out straight away day one. Some people where the new feature isn't for them or they don't like it, they don't ever want to play it again. They want the next new feature to come out to see if it's something that they want to engage in. The idea of pausing a load of new activities, new loops, is that positive? I'm going into this, and my opinion, no. Okay, I would rather have a slower rollout of bug fixes in 10 for more engaging gameplay being launched. If I'm being honest with you, we live with bugs every day. We know what they are, and for my opinion, they should continue to do bug updates, which they do. Fine. They aren't pausing new activities, only major mechanics. Yeah, but major mechanics are what we enjoy. I mean, the new mechanic is the bit that sort of keeps you engaged on a month-to-month basis. If we don't get anything new for the next couple of months, we're going to get officers, we might get, I don't know, whatever. I can't say too much because I know bits. But if it's not new and exciting, and they're just fixing old stuff, but they come back and say to you, Joe, we fixed the Stellar loop, we fixed the Outpost loop, we fixed this loop, we fixed Alliance tournaments and stability, we fixed that. I'll be honest with you, I don't see really any problems with Alliance Tournament. I think Alliance Tournaments is running pretty well. I'm just being honest. I just don't see a great deal of issues with it. But the areas of the games that they're going to start to tackle: Outpost stability, operating it long term rather than seasonally, and quality of life improvements. That needs to cover something very, very key. That needs to cover something massively, massively key. The buffs need to become relevant. At the moment, the buffs are irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant, because none of them really do anything and nobody cares. In order for Outposts to be right, I do Outposts at the minute to finish my Battle Pass events and to get the medals and the plunder to pull the refinery. I don't care about the actual benefit of Outposts, which are in essence the buffs. All I care about is a method of getting refinery. Hi, Suja. It's a method of making the refinery work. That's it. And for me, that's not how Outposts was designed. Between Chronicle of the Ascendant, Galactic Invasion, Flashpoint, etc., could they do an old event month while they fix bugs, a space a month? Do you know what? I've said about revisiting older events and stuff that people liked and doing that every now and again. People might remember this. Who remembers about 4 or 5 years ago? They used to have a community choice event section. They used to allow you to... they put like a list of 5 or 10 events, and then you voted on official Discord of which event you wanted to see that was going to launch in 3 days' time. It was always Faction Hunt, by the way. Everybody always picked Faction Hunt. Nobody ever picked anything else. But I mean, make it a little bit of choice. Throw some older events in there. I don't mind that. It's not that great for the ones not in Master League, and I agree. So Alliance tournaments, unless you're in Master League, I say there's nothing in the lower leagues, but the majority of the value is in Master League. I agree. So that portion of players, Alliance tournaments is great and the rewards are okay. Is it super engaging anymore? Not really. It just isn't. I don't think it needed it. Reducing the occurrence of stuck mines in the Vale. That just needs sorting. Now, and something else I will say. Anybody that's not playing in G7, I will tell you categorically, the Vale is 50 times better than it was 6 weeks ago. It's so much better. Is it fixed? No. How much better is it, Nige, in your experience?
Oh, massively, massively. To be honest with you, other than ghost ships that rarely appear, to be honest with you, it's been way better than it was previously. And with Alliance Tournaments Loop, let me just throw my little 2 cents in on this. I think the changes they made eventually are the better changes. Yes, it makes Syndicate unplayable, basically for free, no matter what the change is, unless it went back to previous that. I do agree with Spectre, though, that the UI of the store needs changing, Loop, just so... Because you know how many times does it refresh and you go, oh my god, I've just clicked on the wrong thing again.
All the time.
It's those little bits, right? So if they turned it into an event store where they shoved it into a folder somewhere in the event store section, that might be a nice way around it, and a way through it. But the Veil is definitely improved dramatically, and it's a great testament to the CCs, the mods, and also pack players behind the scenes who have put a lot of videos and work into it. So we thank them for the reactions. Also, people need to realize they have been reacting way faster than usual. The communication has gone more than usual. I know it's not perfect, but it's way more. So let's give them that, which is absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing from that list and changes is there. The thing that I will tell you that the note has come in from a lot of players is, at the beginning of his post, a loop, he says that I'm going to be quite specific with the changes and everything I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm don't see any specifics at the moment to where you got to with the list that you've just read. It'd be nice if he just went March to hit this.
Yeah. Deadlines. And
yeah, I mean,
go on.
Yeah.
Let's continue, but doesn't get very specific in my opinion. But then
And
we will see. Time will tell.
Exactly, and that could be one of our key criticisms. But this system, this is a one-off system in one veil, not one broken node.
Yep.
Okay. I for clarity, for anybody that didn't see it before, I would have probably expected circa 50 to 75% of these nodes to be broken 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
50 to 75%.
I mean, it's great
Massive.
they fixed it, but then should have been working that way from the beginning.
Should, but I will give leeway to something new that I do like,
true.
which is the Veil, something brand new tech, new interplayer strategy and gameplay, more interaction between other servers while still being in your instance. Do you know what I mean? For STFC, it's pretty big. What they've done in the Veil is pretty big. I'm not disappointed. So reducing occurrence of stuck mines in the Veil, I think they've already done that. If they just continue to do what they're doing now and running the script when they're running the script and fixing it, because I see ones sometimes that are broken in the morning, they're fixed by the time I come back on an evening. Do you know what I mean? Whatever they're doing in the background, which is running scripts, fixing nodes, it's working. Happy with that. Enabling G5 ship scrapping. Believe that when I see it. Getting stuck when traveling into and out of arenas. Now, I don't do arenas. The time's just crap for me, which is the biggest flaw with arenas for me. That I don't actually get the ability to play. Tell me about this. Crazel, Nige, do either of you, are you big arena players?
Yep.
Okay,
100%.
good. Tell me about this problem.
It's not as much as it used to be. It's definitely improving, 100% better than what it was. Sorry, Tibbs, I said 100% again, 99.8% improvement than what it was. The only thing with arenas is, you need more engagement to get the numbers right and so on and so forth. It is working better. Yes, there's ship tracking issues and so on and so forth. But I think those ship tracking issues and everything to do with how your client receives it, you'll see in the rest of the blog, will explain why I think they found the nooks and crannies of it.
Okay.
Remember when I told you, Lube, to change your frame rate? Have you ever struggled with ship tracking?
No, never.
Exactly. I've said this because of what I do for a living is something that we have to establish. I've said this for about 18 months to 2 years now. And now they eventually went, oh, the mobile doesn't receive as much as it used to compared to last time. Yes, it's a different frame rate for every single continent.
Yeah.
Now I believe that's the fix. So fingers crossed, Luke.
Just refresh people. What should they be having the frame rate set at to help minimize? I'm not going to say remove, but to minimize lack of ship tracking. What did we say? Was it 30?
Yeah, but 30 for the EU, and it's 60 for the US. So the US mobiles receive different levels of settings per one, and in the EU, if you can't go down to 30, you should leave it at 60. And then what it does is it'll match what it is. If you go to 30, you'll receive way more information in less time, and you'll actually do better. The US run at 60 megahertz and higher, which is quite a problem. So when we do a film or TV or all streaming services, that's all different. But it does improve. So since the moment you pushed it down to 60 from 120, that made a huge difference. If you push it down to 30, it'll be even better. Yeah.
So, as much as you think you might want it higher and higher, this isn't a 120 FPS game. Come on, people.
Yeah.
It's not. We don't need Twitch reactions. Do you know what I mean? We do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
That's true.
Reduce your frame rate if it's going to increase your performance and stability. Okay, so that's the arenas part of it. Wave defense, stability, and freezes. Issue since the day one of waves. And this is one of the problems with this sort of communication, is that I've just become used to sending one ship. If it works, brilliant. But I still reboot the game before I start a wave. If it doesn't work, I reboot the game and I go back in. should I have to do that? No. Have I built that into my routine? It's not the mod on PC. It's just a standard client.
Yeah, and also with Waves, it should be now, as of 24 hours ago, fixed a lot better. So if people updated. If there's any issues, let us know. I have been swapping videos with them quite a lot, and we've been swapping, as well as pack members, been swapping a few bits with them quite a lot to get that to where it is. So hopefully that works out well, and will be a lot better. So yeah, that's something that's definitely there.
Definitely, agreed. Dauntless, active shippability, reliability improvements. Touch wood, I think I've had one ASA failure since I've had the Dauntless, and I've had it since day one. Yeah. And I tend to use my two a day that I get. I mean, I go through it in a mirror system and do it. I know there have been problems. It's not 100%. I don't see it as being game breaking. Leaderboard reliability.
Do you use it for searches?
No, I have done without
searches.
I have done
searches,
without. Yeah, go on.
In searches, it breaks every other time. What feels like, I mean, it's not an issue if you have the mod, because then you can just restart it by hitting space for the attack command, which is fun because you can redirect the ship with the PC client.
Yeah.
But else,
but we shouldn't be relying.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't be relying on a PC client to be able to do this, should we?
No. That's completely right. But it helps maybe a player which doesn't know it, so they can restart it.
I can tell you this, that they have found what the problem is. This is just inside info. They have found what the problem is, and believe that they have a fix. So once they've deployed that, which I think will happen soon, they will obviously see if it works, and if it works, then they'll announce it, sort of thing. Otherwise, they redeploy it again, like they did with the raiding and so on and so forth. That's how they work, right? They've got to throw a few, live grenades in there, see who catches them, and if the grenade doesn't go off, then boom, they finally found a solution to it.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed it works.
Absolutely. And in terms of specificity, updates and plan for the first half of 20, there's no specifics in terms of time or anything like that on any of those updates. We are also prioritising a number of generic issues that you've been experiencing and reporting. Like when the game is stuck on preparing screen, we'll be collecting feedback across the community to make sure we make the biggest impact on your day-to-day play. We have ongoing investment on making the game better, but right now we are pausing other work to give greater emphasis to stability. We still have updates coming to the game. Story and content will be updated, but the complexity and scale of updates will be more focused. This is going back to what I was saying. This is we're now substituting new content for fixes. And my argument is that certain people will see that as a massive positive reading it on the screen. Certain people will say, well, you haven't released anything in 3 months, I'm bored. Remember, at the crux of this, regardless what anybody says, this is a mobile game. Once it stops becoming engaging, new and enjoyable, well, if you can call it that, people will stop playing it. And I've never bought into the stop releasing new stuff and fix stuff. I've said, release new stuff, make it fun, and fix it. Okay? And they've got to balance that. Mac agrees with me. They've got to get the balance right. Neptune's saying stability. Yes. Yeah. And Jay said, I think they release new content too fast. This is what I mean. So there's people that will see past the bugs. Yeah. There's people that will see past the bugs a little bit by the fact that they're getting new stuff on a regular basis that they can play with, and they'll say, well, it's new. It generally, in inverted commas, gets better over time. It's fine. But it's not ideal day one. We say that a lot. But some people say, well, if it doesn't work, I'm never going to play it. We've got to get a balance, people. We're going from one extreme to the other. We're going from too fast, too quick, new content and lack of bug fixing. And then we're going to, if we go back the other way, where we're just fixing bugs and not releasing anything new or engaging, I don't think we solve a problem.
They need to do both, if you ask me. And we don't know how much they're dealing back new content, because at least I don't know. Maybe you know more because you've seen more. But if they kind of strike a balance between adding a little bit of new stuff to keep players still engaged and maybe reiterate on existing stuff and give it a new touch or flavor that might work out too. Because honestly, having releases where stuff doesn't work at all, or then have events you need to score in and have the frustration of progress-oriented players because they can't score or lose because someone didn't catch the bug and they did, isn't good either. So I think it needs to be a balance, or maybe if they have a big new feature, don't run events in the first 2 days, just test it. I mean, if they can't do a small test, because we all know the live system is different than any development system, it's just different because it's the massive of scale, then run it for 2 days and then start the events. I don't get it why they don't give us like, okay, you have 5 tickets, play around with it, you score nowhere, you just can test stuff. Maybe don't even give out rewards. Just give us the thing to play with and see if it works, and then start the events for it.
My issue is that incentive drives behavior. Yeah, incentive drive behavior, and we shouldn't be acting as testers within a live game environment, which comes back to early play testing, which comes back to vigorous play testing, which comes back to getting people involved so much earlier. It shouldn't be, as Tibbs said, the first month shouldn't be the beta test. It shouldn't be. I think we need to go back to, in terms of slowing down content progression, we need to get out of this stupid cycle we've got of 2-month arcs and 1-month arcs and 2 month. We need to go back to when the game was in Deep Space Nine, TNG, anybody that wasn't here when Next Generation originally launched. That was 6 months, people. 6 months of TNG, we dripped stuff out. We launched things like, they launched away teams to see if it worked. What did they do a couple of months later? They released traits. Do you know what I mean? Traits didn't launch with away teams. They made sure away teams worked, which to all intent and purposes it did. They then added traits to add extra rewards and enhance the feature and make it how they could be. They need to drip feed content in over a longer arc period. It takes the pressure off us looking at a game news where we're getting a new feature, we're getting a new ship, we're getting a new building, we're getting a new load of researches within 2 months. Do you know what I mean? I've just listed 4 things there that could be a feature for their own arc. That should be spread over 4 months. Make the narrative more enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? Make the storyline better. Allow people to play for longer. Really, really boost. Make it so that when a ship is launched, stop launching the bloody ship in month 2. Launch it in month 1 and make it a 60-day track to unlock that ship. So the first couple of months, yeah, you're finding it a little bit tough, but by month 3 of a 3, 4, 5 month arc, you're able to use that ship to its capacity, and you're getting gobloads of extra rewards to start getting it up to where it's usable to your levels and to your tiers. People play this game for ships. Yeah, people play this game for ships. They play it to hang out with the Alliance and go do new things. They want to unlock the new shiny thing. Now we're in this cycle where I can't think what we're at now. Tibbs might be able to remind me, or you might even know, Nige. We're probably about to unlock a ship that was launched. We're probably at the 100-day mark for a ship where the arc finished 2 months ago, and it's not even going to get touched. Let's go for the Squall or something like that. Squall we're probably about that now. And what do we see for Transigen? You might see the odd thing in between the arc, the odd Transigen rush event where you've got to go and mine some. You do that with normal. You do that with normal ships. Do you know what I mean? They've missed out on using the new shiny feature within the new shiny launch period, where you're getting the extra rewards for using the new shiny object. Make it feel better. And what you'll get as well, people that have missed 20 days of the refines and pulls because they're a little bit more casual. Do you know what I mean? Throw a $20 pack out there that's got a quarter of the blueprints in it, so they can play it during month 3, because they've been grinding for 60 days to get it, and they've only got 60% of the blueprints or 40% of the blueprints. Throw a little pack, so there is money spinning things in there. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I want Scopely to make money. I want them to make new content. I want the content to be engaging. We want it to be there. AQ GS31 events. When was the last time we got something for using the GS31? Garbage. The Dauntless should be coming up in mid-December. Yeah, so Dauntless free-to-play path, Tibbs is saying, is mid-December. So what's that, 2-3 weeks away?
Yeah.
But there's nothing going on for the Dauntless, because we've moved on from that. We're going to have gone through the Dauntless We're going to have nearly finished this Deep Space Nine 2 months. We're going to be starting something else new in January, and people are just unlocking the thing from 3 arcs ago.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying give it away free. I'm not. Give people the exclusivity during the first couple of months. Dauntless free to play. Start of January, George is saying. Mid-January, Tibbs is saying. So we are definitely 100% going to be in a new arc.
Yeah.
Or at least have events run when the free-to-play community should reach those things.
I know, but we shouldn't need to get to that. We shouldn't need to get to that. My whole mindset on all of this is go back to this Deep Space Nine Run 2. This should have been a 4-month thing. Do you know what I mean? They should have been doing like they should have put like some Terek Nor stuff in there. They should have put a skin in there for the Starbase. They should have put more stuff in there for Quark stuff. Do you know what I mean? Make people go and man bloody Latinum with the Ferengi ships for events that pay out really good rewards and things. Do you know what I mean? I know this sounds madness. Frosty's just saying, I totally agree, Frosty. Players are now logging in, doing the dailies, and sometimes logging out again because there's so much that's come in that's no longer relevant because it's not being used in today's game that people don't really care. Honestly, my videos are at that point to this. When a ship comes out, let's take the Squall for example. The Squall comes out day 1. It has this big surge of people watching it. Yeah, so I say big surge. A surge big for me. I mean, it has 1,500, 2,000 people watch it. Right, 100 days later, as people start to unlock it, it surges again. Do you know what I mean? And then it goes up to 4,000 and 5,000 as the free-to-play start to get to it. So over a 5-month period, it's getting 5,500, 6,000 views. But that big gap in the middle, which is where all the events are for it and where all the progression is for it, poof, it's gone. And I just don't. And I think it means that they can focus, thinking, right, okay, so we've got a 4-month Deep Space Nine arc. We're going to have outposts coming out in month 1. Fine. We've got whatever's coming out in December, which I do kind of know. We've got what's coming out in this. Move that to January, yeah, and make December all about mastering this outpost part. I'm using outposts as a crap example because I think the features, it's okay, but it's got massive issues. But add something else into it, drag it out, make it longer. It's not as easy because it's not a ship. But we should really now, if the Dauntless is going to be unlocking in January, that needs dragging forward. That needs dragging forward to the start of December. We need to change it from this 100-day meta. We need to turn it back into a 60-day meta. We really do need to. And we need to make Arcs 3 and 4 focused on having the ship. So those people are thinking, right, by the time we get to month 3, I'm going to have this Dauntless. I'm going to be able to go in. I'm going to get all these extra rewards. But then after month 1, they're seeing what all the people that unlocked it day 1 have been getting. They're thinking, well, I've got half the ship now. I might pay to unlock it so that I can start accessing the rewards during month 2 of a 4-month arc to make it better. Honestly, this just sounds logical to me. And it's what we used to do. It's the way the game used to work. And I don't see why it doesn't need to do that. These 2-month arcs are crap. They are killing the longevity of the game because we're going through content at such a rate of knots that we're not having time to flesh it out properly, make sure it works, learn how to use it to its best ability before we move on to the next thing. People are unlocking the Squall now. People are going to be unlocking the Dauntless in January. Who's to say that we don't get a specialty ship in December or January as well? Do you know what I mean? So then you're starting a whole new one, which you're trying to, as a player, sorry, Quasar, one sec. As a player, you're trying to think, 2 months ago when I released the Dauntless and we did content on the Dauntless and we talked about it, you probably thought, right, okay, I know how to use the Dauntless. I understand how it works. I get how all that sort of thing works. Okay, that's fine. But then you don't touch it for 90 days. The new ship comes out, you're thinking, right, I'm going to start learning about this new ship because you listen to the content creators, you watch the stuff on YouTube, you're reading the in-game news, you're seeing the events and everything for it. You can't play it because you're still trying to remember what the hell you've got to do with your Dauntless from 4 months ago.
Yep. I mean,
sorry, Quazzle, go on, mate.
The thing is, if we don't expect the ship next month because they kind of told us, but then it could be a ship that's not related to Outpost, so I'm not trusting the statement. And if we exclude the Vengeance this year, since 2022, we had 5 ships every year. Mm-hmm. Maybe some of them faster, because they used to be a little bit faster, but not all of them. So it's the perception maybe, because there aren't more ships. I counted it the other day because we had the exact same discussion with on the data Discord yesterday.
I just think that one of the major problems with things going wrong and why they're unable to react fast enough to fix stuff that's coming out is because too much stuff is coming out too quickly.
Yeah.
Too much stuff is coming out too quickly. And this doesn't mean that we stop bringing things out and we stop launching stuff now as a rug pull reaction to try and fix it, to go back and fix bugs. Because what you do then is you create this void. You create this void of time where nothing is coming. I just don't think it's difficult. I just don't think it's a difficult thing to fix. Anyway, that's my pacey side of it. Let me go through this next bit. Anything else that you want to add on that, Nige? Do you agree, disagree with me?
Yeah, I agree with everything you say. I think I've had this discussion earlier with loads of players. I think a 3-month arc sounds like a reasonable compromise, where you give people the problem to try and solve in month 1, you give them an opportunity to try and master it in month 2, give them a nice little oomph in month 3, which is the next upgrade. Let's say you go from armadas, uncommons, to rares, to epics, almost doing that sort of scenario with everything. You've got a uncommon hostile, rare hostile, epic hostile, with everything. Just it gives you 3 months to get better and better at beating these things, and will get stronger with better crews. It's exactly what you said is right. I would read the rest of the blog, though, because there's a few answers to a few of the questions that's been asked now.
Brilliant. Let's go through. IA update. Savage just said, IA will be updated soon. It will. Leave it at that. Following the last update, I had for specific clarity, clear timelines for updates and bug fixes. Am I too far? We are also prioritizing a number of generic issues we experience with reported preparing screen. I read that. I don't give a crap about the preparing screen. I know that sounds horrible, but I genuinely think that's a waste of time writing it. We will still have updates coming to the game. The story and content will be updated, but the complexity and scale of updates will be more focused. That's what we just talked about. Following the last update, I also heard the ask for specificity. I used that word earlier. Clear timelines for updates and bug fixes, and for transparent communication about economy adjustments. This update aims to address those points head-on by focusing on near-term deliverables. Iron Fister, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you. Welcome on in, all you beautiful fisters. Are you allowed to say fisters?
or irons. They're just very healthy. They like to have their iron. That's what it is.
Actually, I give a crap about the preparing screen. It is the one time my game crashes about 50% of the time. Okay, I don't have this problem, okay? Please don't think I was trying to diminish it. And if it is a major problem, then absolutely yes, it needs sorted. I've seen a massive problem. I've seen a problem where a lot of it was on new accounts, brand new accounts, so people that are really low ops having this problem, and people were just thinking, well, the game doesn't work, and then binning it off. If you fit into that, Nil, I am sorry that that's happening to you, but it's not something that generally happens to me. And if it is generally a widespread problem, I'm happy that they are trying to address it. Genuinely happy that they're trying to address it. You're up 70. Oh, you're 71. All right, okay. I'll be interested to. Okay. I'd be interested to know why that's happening a little bit more. Because like I say, I don't see that big issue, if I'm being honest. Oh, no, you're absolutely welcome. Your shiz. First update on specificity. We're taking lessons from the... Where was I? I want to with clarity specifics about what changes are coming and when. You can expect us to share more specific dates, deliverables, rather than high-level intentions. In that spirit, we are taking lessons from the reception and live experience to heart and moving quickly. This month we released an updated client that starts the process of improving client-server communications to address sources of lag. Recently we have set it as a minimum requirement for clients to make sure the experience is improved. Outposts are a source of materials and the starting point for acquiring vengeance blueprints. Unlike previous expansions, we are working to deliver content designed for players in that grid for the following releases. We've already planned and started specific additions in G6 and G7 space, with new hostile targets, combat challenges, and improvements already planned for updates through to April of next year. Following our plan to improve access to the later game over time, there will be buffs, rewards coming in the updates that will start to open up to access later buildings and ops levels in G7. These updates will continue in the coming releases. Okay. Nothing new there. So what they're saying is, it's expensive now. over time, they're going to add buffs, they're going to add researches, they're going to add artifacts, they're going to add bits and pieces to make progression into the later game easier. There's nothing new there, if I'm being honest. The mentioning acquisition of vengeance blueprints through outposts, I mean, if you're calling that sourcing, yeah, you don't understand.
It's no, but also he clearly states there's a word everyone misses. Everyone misses it.
Go.
It's a starting point for acquiring vengeance.
Okay.
Vengeance will always start getting easier. So hopefully the SMS will get easier. Hopefully the SLB will get easier. Hopefully that will be another drip that you get it into. That's what I think is going to happen.
But what irritates me, is they'd started to fix this. Everybody was started to get happy, and then they broke it again.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the 1 week was clearly a mistake.
That was clearly an error. It was clearly an error. But what I don't expect in 1 week, I don't expect in 1 week's worth of events, I don't expect to get 480 out of 1,000 blueprints. Don't expect that. Yep. But I do expect a similar level of spend to be able to maybe get me, 20%? So if I go hard for 5 events, 5 weeks worth, I can unlock it. Because my issue with the vengeance, right? My absolute issue with the vengeance is once you've done this, it's not like, cha-ching, I've unlocked it. That's it. I can start upgrading it and start working on it. I've got to continue to do the bloody event every single week to get parts.
Yeah, I know. So that's the hard part.
Sourcing it, honestly, now, I'm going to go back. I'm going to source it. I'm going to change my mind. I should be able to go hard in 2 or 3 events and unlock a full vengeance, knowing full well that I've got to spend the next year, 18 months, whatever. I spend so many time, resources, materials to actually get the stuff to upgrade the bloody thing.
Yeah.
So no,
I'm not.
Go on.
Yeah, I mean, we have. From Outpost, if you can do the 70s, you can get about 3 blueprints a day-ish. So that's about a year if you're just doing it with Outpost, and you can do the level 70s, and assuming they're giving us a start every 2 days. So that's the time horizon without any other spend.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it reminds me a little bit about the jellyfish, because for a long time, the ISS jellyfish was like, only the first one in an event got it, and the rest was kind of... Maybe if they got lucky and got a full pull of it, but else you waited for it a long time too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I have stopped caring about it because who knows? Maybe I don't even need it.
No. The only reason why I am thinking that I may even need it, and I know I'm going a little bit into G7 here, which I didn't necessarily completely want to do, is. By the time I get to 73, I've got a really large potential of obviously unlocking a 73 ship. However, but I might not need a 73 ship, and I might not even be able to afford a 73 ship. And if I can't afford a 73 ship, then I need the vengeance to help start getting me up to 74, 75 and beyond. Because the sheer amount of faction credits, the inability to convert faction credits with Latinum at any rate, means the vengeance may actually be needed. I have, since G7 started, got about 90,000 Federation credits.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
But Lube,
go on.
Here's a question for you, right? Okay, so the vengeance will be chased and so on. But you get to the uncommon 73. Sorry about the lower ops people, just for a moment.
Yeah.
Do you believe, like any other rep, that when you get to within 10% of the rep, say someone gets close to the 25 trillion, you would get those ship packs, right? You get the packs that they usually do for the next ship, where you get like 25 to 50 BPs plus how many, do you know what I mean? Like a few bits and bobs and materials and all that sort of stuff, so that you might potentially be able to buy it within 5 or 6 packs. Do you think that's going to happen for G7?
No. Not yet. I don't. I think they want people... Yeah. I'm being honest. I think they want people to buy. I think the way to source G7 ships is buying faction credits. That's
yeah,
it.
and the faction numbers come from the ultra recruit tokens, which no one, really are going to struggle with. That's the problem. So it's just something to bring up. I already know the answer to it, so if people do want me to tell them the answer, I can tell them exactly what happens, because there's someone that's actually crossed the 25 trillion rep mark. There's one person in the whole world that's done it.
Crazy.
Jesus.
And then another question. 2 years back, when G6 launched, did anyone expect that G5 picks would get you 66, 67 now easily because due to power creep?
No.
Things will change. Every month it will get easier. We will get new tools, new officers, new, I don't know, buffs, maybe Isolytic 2.0, whatever they invent to make us spend again and to power up our ships, and we will get more research. So it will become way easier than we think to do stuff at 73. So just go at your pace. I mean, nobody says we need to be 76 in 2 months, because maybe someone can afford it, but it doesn't look like it currently.
No.
So it will change every month with every feature. People need to relax a little bit. If features at first look, oh my god, I can't do that. Yeah, then maybe next month. I mean, it's a journey, and you can't win the game. Just go at your pace.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Honestly, I just don't disagree. But which is why I'm saying that the Vengeance for me is my next going back to. It's my next shiny thing. It has the potential. If the Vengeance is off the table for me for a year, if I can't unlock it for, I've got about 400 odd blueprints. If it's going to take me 6, 7, 8 months to unlock a Vengeance, that's my next shiny thing. Okay, somebody asked how much steel it was to get to Shipyard 73. This is mine, and I'm at Shipyard 71. And I need 2 billion Sigma steel, which is a relative F-ton, to say the least.
Oh, it's only 2 billion looped. Just it's
hell of a
easy.
lot.
Just do 2-3 events, and you'll be fine.
So
I think we've exhausted the Vengeance with that. So I think the Vengeance will improve. Like, I truly believe every month.
Yeah,
the Vengeance sourcing will improve 100%. Sorry, Tibbs, 99.8%.
Yeah.
Tibbs. And Tibbs, as per your previous comment, Lube is not the only one lagging behind. It's me lagging behind with the fact that I can't say anything but 100%. Sorry, Tibbs. I will concentrate on getting 98.6.
Perfect. Okay, Outpost, unlike previous expansion work, instead of content, but I've done that one. Following our plan to improve the access, I've done that bit. I don't want to call it some higher profile fixes here too that were released last week. Others will follow. Station combat issues, yes, that is fixed. Brilliant. Bog cube will no longer get stuck during an attack queue. That's nice. Auto recall in Transigen will no longer happen for depleted nodes. Nice. Chaos tech buffs will apply correctly in combat, reflect their proper defensive benefits. Nice. The issue where events fail to appear for new or returning players is also fixed. Alliance tournaments league will no longer reset after a tournament. That is massive if that works. That's huge. And luckily you will be pleased to hear that we do have people in the background, some really, really clever data guys that are able to spot when there's a potential problem upcoming in tournaments. And I saw it at play this week. Able to sort it out to stop that being a problem. So no, good. Really, really good. G7 launched in early landings. In early October, the G7 expansion opened a wealth of new systems, threats, ships. Many of you mentioned that you love the scale and creativity of the Veil. We've said that, we've echoed that. The margins so, never do anything in the margins, and told us that we were hitting the goal of bringing back the early feeling of the game. Agreed. When G3 represented the peak of power, you needed to explore, experiment, overcome challenges from development perspective, lots of words, if I'm being honest. The Veil was a particular highlight. It represents our ongoing goal to continue to introduce ways to connect more players together. It's as if I'd already read this. I promise you I hadn't. It's as if I'd already read this. It's exactly what I said, and I totally agree. Now, the intent was for G7 to feel more expansive and deep than expansions before. I feel we achieved that. The launch was impacted by missing events, rewards, issues. We knew that. Veil mining continues to be a high priority topic, and I think they've nailed that. I think that's near enough. That is 95% sorted. Happy with that. The source of the corrupted mining nodes has been more elusive. Okay, so they're talking about that, which is fine. Continues to be active efforts running repair nodes, and that's fine. We are looking to continue to improve and expand the grid experience in the coming month. Future updates will start introducing new sources of power, materials to help everyone go deeper in G7. Materials are fine. We need faction credits. Yeah, Bensai. I'm very good, thank you. I've been very, very well. So we need faction credits. That's a huge bottleneck, to the point where I'm not going to be getting a G7 miner because I just aren't going to be able to afford it. I just physically aren't going to be able to afford it. We saw a lot of
Hey, you have already 10% of it. I mean, come on.
I know, but then
Just
but
10 more months.
But then, based on the way that I'm looking at the game now, I don't get a 73 ship until 2028. We saw a lot of community feedback and discussions around Surges. We've been excited to hear about the fun people are having. Don't mind Surges, it's okay. Some of you reported struggling with the low number of starts available in these early days. We've spoken with several players who are looking for solo options due to challenges in organising and starting an event. As more players enter the Veil, I think Surges should be server wide. I don't think they should be alliance based. That's my take on it. You should be able to just start and have 10 people from other alliances. It should be capped at, say, 30 ships, but you should be able to just do it with any 30 people on the server. I think that gets rid of a lot of the problems. As more players enter the Veil, the number of Surges will grow. Monitor closely to ensure it scales, and that's true. Obviously, you need to be 71 to start it. If you've got no 71s in your alliance, then you currently can't play in Surges. But likewise, if you're sub 70, the rewards from Surges are shit anyway. Fact. Event rewards, specific adjustments. Events have not met the bar. We're increasing our focus on event turnover across the team. An event should be...
You overread the best bit. Buy more packs. Yeah, it's in there. Like adding sourcing into special packs. It made me giggle, that part of it.
Adding sourcing for what? Where
For Surges.
Surges.
Did you read that part?
Oh god. Oh yes.
You skipped
we may
that.
use temporary measures such as adding Surge starts to special packs and introducing events that encourage alliances to be online together. Makes organising Surges more easily. Yeah, that's not how you fix it. Okay, that's not how you fix it. Also, the keys to enter the Surge system. Yeah, exactly. The keys to get in nils spot on. Only having a cap of 200 with a 200 claim. Yeah, garbage. Events have not met the bar. We're increasing our focus on event and turnover across the team. An event should be a moment of excitement. Fresh challenges objective to boost your gameplay, not a source of confusion about scoring or rewards. Our events are all prepared and reviewed ahead of time. It's clear there are gaps in the process. Rethink different strategies. We have expanded our QA team. That means they've now got one. And coverage for the events. And we are extending stages of reviews on our event releases. I'm joking, actually, to be fair. These changes are rolling out now. And we've already started the scaling of the teams involved. Pleased to hear that. Anything that fixes events, because at event reset, I can't tell you, Nigel will attest to this, I can't tell you, that's like one of the busiest times for dev chat, saying this event's not there, that event's not in the right bucket, this event's rewards are wrong, this scaling is wrong, and then it's like a manic free. And to be fair to all the guys in live ops, they are so attentive generally. Do you know what I mean? They try and they're on it and they're like, right, I'm on it, and they'll fix stuff really, really quickly. I mean, I'd say 30 to 45 minutes most events get fixed that are broken, which I just can't argue with that. I just can't argue with that for attentiveness from the team. It's okay. Yeah, to be fair, hi Moopsy. Okay, technical problems and client stability. At the end of September, we launched a Unity 6. Okay, am I going to get any value in reading this? Is there anything in here that I need to read? If I'm being honest.
Well, it's about the frame rate stuff, like which is something I said 2 years ago. Not trying to emphasize it, but yeah, it shows that the mobiles and how they're receiving stuff and all that sort of stuff, and that's what lag is. But some people enjoy it, so we've got loads of very smart people in the chat, and then there's Moopsy who just does upper body and never does any legs. But
Skipping
otherwise
leg
everybody
day.
else is good.
Yeah, and see, Netnev enjoyed the section. See, if Netnev enjoyed it, that tells me that it's absolutely nothing to do with me that I should be reading. Basically, they're trying to improve stability. It's saying why it's not working. Can you give me a lowdown on this?
Yeah, we can give you a lowdown. Spectre, though, there's a demonstrated false statement in the blog regarding the Unity security update, which is quite critical. Spectre brings up as well, because the Unity 6 has some leakage of information and something that's really, really, really important. Like Spectre says, Unity security update was fixed in 6.000.0.f8 f2, the game is still on 0.52 f1. So,
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, anyways, that's a different thing.
I have invited Netniv to the stage, who has.
Oh no, that's it. I'm out. I'm out. Screw this. I'm out.
He has.
Hey, it could be worse. It could be George.
It could be. Right, Netniv.
No, it
give
could
me
be
a
worse. It could
lowdown,
be Stewie.
because I will not.
That's
I will not explain this and do it justice. So, Net, give us a nerdy explanation as to what this is banging on about.
So this is basically talking about how the client receives its updates from the servers and things like that. And basically, it's getting too much information that it can process in one time, which goes along with what Nigel's saying about your frame rates. By reducing your frame rates, you're getting less information sent over the network, so you've got less to process. Therefore, it's smoother because there's less to do. And one of the things they're encountering is that they are sending information and then sending a subsequent update that supersedes that information that hasn't actually been processed yet.
So it wasn't able to keep up with the responses, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is why if you're reducing down from 120 to 60, obviously you're halving the amount of information to do with updates, and then if you're doing it again to 30, you're doing it again. But that is also to do with front-side processing, not necessarily the network communication. But
okay.
I do feel like it seems to be what's the word?
I'll tell you. Netniv, let me tell you why I noticed it 2 years ago. Just let me do this once, loop, so everyone just control your ears for a second. I said this 2 years ago. Anyways, just let me calm myself down and take a breath. Which I brought up and told them is because one of their videos that they released didn't stream properly during their game, and as a filmmaker myself, we have to change our frame rates depending on which country that you're distributing the sort of series to. And I noticed the frame rate was wrong. When I changed it, it all started working really well. And I told Loop to do this. He did it live on stream, and it made a huge different arenas. Like, I don't get lag issues because everything is now coming at the right frame rate. However, in the US, it's different as well. So in the US, you need the 60 frames as an absolute minimum. Otherwise, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
So just so people are aware, that is the main reason. And they now noticed after 2 years of me pounding on about it. I mean, sorry, saying nicely that it's been an issue. They decidedly take my thing. Thank you very much for playing that at the right time. Moopsy, Nigel, the unemployed filmmaker. We're all unemployed until someone actually gives you due. But I'm making a documentary series about Lube and his life. So that will be next, everybody.
Yeah. The world's shortest film.
Yeah.
Well,
so basically, what Nigel's saying there is all covered in point one of the thing. Point two was to do with the fact that what they are sending over the network is actually not optimized, so it's too much. And I think point three is to do with the fact that, if you remember, this game was never designed to be real time.
No.
Yeah.
And so the way it communicates isn't optimal for real time communication, and more of the game is becoming real-time based, like arenas, waves. You need that real-time kind of communication. So that part is something that our data guys have been discussing, and we've been trying to figure out how they would kind of do this, and we're not even really sure how they would migrate from one system to the other. So that is going to be a big topic for them, and that won't be an easy fix.
No.
So that is a future thing, and probably why he mentioned some of this being into next year. And I think the deeper tech, which is going to be part 3, is going to be further down the line still. So we're a while away off that, I think. But if we can get the first 2 bits sorted out, we should at least see better stability, better processing. And if we all reduce our frame rates to Nigel's specifications, he won't shatter us.
Well, yeah, but just to be clear, I actually know the solution, which I've mentioned it multiple times to them if they ever wish to listen to me. But I'm way down the line, so it doesn't matter. But there is a solution that already exists within the whole streaming services, which I can provide as one of those people that does these things. If they wish to listen, I will be here and available if wish to DM me. I'm around. But.
Everyone run at 5 FPS. That's Benny Hill's solution.
I mean, there are solutions because there are real-time games that existed way before this game that did it probably Claire and Lightbolt did talk about half an hour why and how and what's the issue. It was quite interesting. So yeah, it's not rocket science.
No.
It's just a different way of doing it, and they didn't do it. And I understand it. Ripping out it from client and server side and reworking all of that can't be an easy task, given the 7 years of history in the game.
Yeah, no. And I agree. And I think a load of people will have totally switched off at that point because that was nerdy and in-depth. But I think if we was to summarise this into 30 seconds, it seems like they are now acknowledging a key issue that has been brought to their attention apparently by some weirdo. And now that that is being acknowledged, and we think this is going to be a positive change, but it's also not going to be a flick of a switch change. This is going to take time. It's going to take updates. It's going to take it's promising, Maka says, and I would agree in terms of general stability. Do I expect the game ever to be perfect? No, I don't. And if I go into it not expecting perfection, then there's a good chance that I can't be quite as disappointed. Let's move on to something else. I want to talk about what I think is one of the shining lights of what's come out, specifically in November, the mid-ops, and making a true mid-ops arc. Okay, Rev said it's not promising us all. It's the same thing we've been told 100 times. Anyone who buys it, please let me know so I can sell you a beachfront property in the Dakotas. I'm not disagreeing with you. It just seems like they've found they've found something to cling on to that all the nerdy guys seem to agree is potentially an issue. Now, the problem we've got, and I totally agree with Rev on this, are they capable of actually fixing it? Identifying a problem, overcoming the problem, isolating it, and getting rid of it is a totally different matter. And the only thing that will ever prove that is time. We need a bit of time to do it. But I want to talk about mid-apps. I want to go on to something positive. Okay, don't solve the problem while we're gone. Oh, we're in ads. We've got a couple of minutes in ads. Nice to see you, Rev. Hope you're well, buddy. You're more than welcome to come up, Rev, if you're free and you want to chat while we're going through a few bits. Don't know how much you've missed of what we've been doing to go through this, and I'm sure you'll be going through it as well. But I'm reading this for the first time, so this is initial gut reaction from me. We'll wait for the ads to finish before we start talking about mid-ops, because I'm genuinely positive about this. Genuinely positive. But what I am noticing is, oh my god, how long is this?
Oh, it's long. It's long.
Shit the bed.
You're nearing the end, kinda.
I ain't getting far. What have we got left? Oh, something about vengeance.
Yeah.
More about stability and performance. Yeah, so there's some other bits for us to talk about, which is nice.
You've got 30 seconds.
Got 30 seconds left. So it's Juicy Baby.
Howdy.
You can do it. We believe in you.
You alright, Rev?
What's up?
No, really good, thank you. How's things?
Things are things. Editing my video for today's slop.
Is it about this?
Oh yeah, it's definitely about this.
What else?
How bad it is.
Yeah, it's got to be about this.
No, it's about Stewie's smoke alarm. That's the video. The whole video is about why Stewie can't put a 9-volt battery in his freaking smoke alarm so it doesn't beep every so often.
Every 20
I
seconds.
mean,
9-volt batteries anymore?
Yeah.
Apparently.
But Nigel, he can't actually defend himself right now. He's struggling with the stream for some reason.
Oh, right. Is he lagging behind?
Very good. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Right. Okay. Let's talk about something a little bit more positive, because I think the mid-ops, and I don't know how many of you guys on here. I know Rev will have a mid-ops account. I've got a mid-ops account. I think the launch of this is promising. I think this has been one of the shining lights for quite some time, to say that they're actually going back and doing some focus on this. Obviously, we've had Discovery, we've had Voyager, and we've had the relativity specific to November, and I think it was a good start, but I'm Wolfie is also playing in this. He said promising, but needs some work. Tell me what you think it needs work on, Wolfie. But Rev, I'd be really interested, as somebody who's probably played mid-ops more than quite a lot of people that are watching now. How have you found the launch of the mid-ops, and do you see this being a very good staple moving forward?
That's the only good thing they've arguably done in live ops in 8 months. So...
it's just good, isn't it? It's just good. The sourcing, the ability to force the
not
catch
great,
up.
but it's good.
It's good. It's good, and we haven't been able to say something's good for quite some time.
Other than I think day one, I think there was like 100 or 200 odd hostiles you had to hit. The feedback I've had from players in that area is that they've liked the events and they've liked the ability to get things along, except where they've been ops locked, and so it's kind of counterintuitive to them at that point.
Yeah,
but,
I get that.
Yeah, it seems to be a good thing so far.
Yeah, and we're gonna have scaling We're gonna have some. We shouldn't have. Okay, and this comes back to what we expect compared to what we should be getting. Do you know what I mean? We expect there to be problems when they do something new. I know that's not the right attitude. We expect there to be scaling issues, but I'm so pleased that they've done it, and now it comes back to a right. I'm so intrigued to see what December brings. I don't want Discovery, Voyager, and Relativity again. I want it to be something. Wolfie's saying we showed it was a 600 hostiles kill for one of the SMSs. Well, it was 600 in 6 days. Okay, so it was 100 a day, which, I mean, I don't think that's ridiculous, but remember, we're talking about lower ops here. Do you know what I mean? These are the people that are maybe slightly less engaged. They maybe don't have the Kiyashara. Do you know what I mean? They'd maybe physically, manually grinding 600 hostiles. I don't think we've ever had an event other than potentially, what was that one that used to roll out with Crucible of War? What was the crazy one that paid out like 9 crystal? What the hell was it? What was that one where if you was a little bit lagging behind, it threw that event? Military Supremacy. That was it. That was always quite...
Supremacy,
yeah. That was always quite high, and that was a milestone. But wasn't that... How many hostiles was that? Was that like 500 in 2 days? 500 in 3 days or something? That was a ridiculous grind to do.
I think, 1,000 points.
Yeah, it was a lot. And this is obviously slightly less than that, but I don't know. I just really hope that this is the start of something that's going to be good, because this has received more positive feedback than it has negative feedback. So I'm so happy that they've done it, and I really want it to carry on, and they need to evolve and scale. Like, what would we like to see next? I mean, because what I'm conscious of here is that you think you're somebody like Wolfie who's in the 20s. I know that because he's in my alliance. So he's going to be potentially in the early 30s. I think the Voyager arc could have been really, really good for him next month if he hasn't unlocked it. But if that then goes away and don't come back for 6 months, that's a problem. Do you know what I mean? So I'm really conscious as to how they're going to build this, how they're going to cycle through the individual ships. I'm really conscious of how they're going to do that to make it work.
That's what I was going to say is, just because one G3 player's been through and done those events for those ships doesn't mean that there isn't somebody coming from G2 that now wants to do the same thing. So
yeah,
how do you make that work?
I mean, does the 20 to 30, is that always going to be Discovery? Do you know what I mean? Or do you know what I mean? And then does the 30 to 40...
mean, given how fast people now move those through those ops ranges, it might even work out that way. Who knows? I mean, it's tricky, and the game evolves, so it's not easy to say this month it works, and next one it still does. So yeah, no idea.
I'm so, because I think once we see month 2 and month 3 of this, I think that will give us an idea as to what, if any, is going to be the pattern and the plan. Now, what I'm hoping that I can get to speak to the, as I did last month, I'm hoping to get to speak to the Arc Runner who's running mid-ops next month, to try and get a bit of advanced information on the ships, to maybe try and provide some feedback and try and get some understanding into how this is going to evolve as a series, so that we can help the lower ops players understand what to expect, when to expect it, and also if we can get that information out earlier, okay, that will also get to the point where people are thinking, right, okay, I'm currently a 29. Oh my God, I need to get to 31 ready for the next arc. Do you know what I mean? I want to get to 31 ready for the next arc, or I want to get to 30, or whatever the cut-offs and the thresholds are. Because I think I've already got a Discovery and I'm 28. I need to push to 30 so that I can start working on my Voyager at 30. Do you know what I mean? I think we need to get that information out in the next week. Obviously, we've got a 2 week break, so within the next 7 days, we need to get the information out on this is what's coming mid-ops, these are the ships, these are the ops levels that are going to be targeted, so that people can make an informed choice as to whether to push to start moving towards that next ship. Because there's no point the 29 that's just done loads of this discovery events that's nearly ready doing discovery again. Do you know what? Do you know what I mean? So this goes back again to something that was mentioned within this post, that they want to provide more information, they want to provide more deadlines, they want to provide more advanced information as to what is going to be going. So that's how we do it.
I wanted to. I don't know if Ref noticed that. What happens if people go over the threshold for a lower ops battle pass or move into it? If it then starts or resets, or because I never saw an answer to that.
So the battle pass will be locked. So the actual rewards in the battle pass will be locked. So obviously, there's no choice tokens or anything like that. So if you went from 29 to 31, your battle pass is the same. But what you will start getting, because the way that the events are targeted based on ops. So you will start to get the Voyager events, but you will still have a discovery battle pass if you cross that threshold.
Ah, makes sense.
So like I did
Classic.
I did that exact thing. So on my baby account now, I don't know if the event store will still be showing. I don't think schematics here. Look, so I can now. So I was a 29 when this event started. I'm a 31 now. So I can start to pull. I can get 10 Voyager blueprints. Do you know what I mean? Because I crossed over. But my my battle pass, which is now finished, was only paying out discovery. But I mean, even just I've been able to get 52 Voyager blueprints, and I haven't played this account 100%. Do you know what? I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty happy with that.
So, sounds good.
Pretty happy with that. Really, really chuffed. But what I'd like for me, as a now an Ops 30, I want next month. I want to do Voyager. So when it moves and it's something different, I want it to be Voyager. Mad as that sounds, or good as that sounds. So I'm really, really pleased with the mid-arc stuff. And like I say, my plan is to reach out to somebody, find out. I think I know the arc runner is next month now for mid-ops. Reach out to them, see if maybe we can get them on the show. See if maybe we can have an half an hour with them to understand what the future of mid-ops looks like. I can't promise anything, I've no idea, but I think that would be lovely if we could do that, and then we can obviously talk about it and get some bits and pieces on there. That'd be nice. Player sentiment and community. Okay, I'm interested to read this one. Players have also shown us that we can try alternative approaches in receiving feedback. The community has shared that they can't provide accurate feedback due to not experiencing the content in full in the first few days. This goes back to, have you noticed that they send out a survey on day 2 of the arc asking you about the arc? How on earth are you supposed to give accurate and realistic feedback after 2 days when you've had 600 bloody directives and you've ran one outpost and you died on the third hostile because you didn't have your crew right? So you haven't unlocked anything. You haven't done anything.
I think the best one was two months ago, where we got this away before the feature even launched.
I know. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
That's like what the.
It's just not really.
Yeah, I commented on that to somebody that was asking for feedback through the channels as well.
We talked to Peck about it.
You're doing this too early. You know, there's no chance for us to have actually experienced the thing yet. Come back to us in a week or two, and
far too early.
We may have something for you.
Yeah, exactly. And because I can't give you feedback on something that I've not done. I want to give feedback about having 2 different sales buttons on my screen now.
Hey Lou.
Yeah. Hi,
hey,
Doug.
it's Put.
Hey up, buddy.
Hey, bud.
How's things?
I wanted to. Everything's great, but I wanted to tell you how I fill out those surveys that happen, in the first couple of days of an arc.
Go on.
And I fill them out by talking about basically whatever has unlocked most recently free to play. So if they ask me a question like this last time they sent it out, I talked about the stuff that was released 3 months ago and be like, okay, well, here's where I'm at in the game, to kind of beat home the thing that they also need to be asking about, not just the new stuff, the brand new stuff that month, but also to check in with people about, how their journey's going from doing it, grinding it out as well.
You're absolutely right. And we wouldn't have been, we were talking about that earlier. in terms of progression and arc times and bits and pieces like that. It's just deplorable to try and give feedback on something that you've not played, and I totally agree with the way that you do it. I think everybody should do it. Our team have sent out the player survey at a later point. Cha-ching in an arc, so players can experience new content more fully. I think fully is the wrong word, because you would have experienced it fully even after a couple of weeks, and a better guide to our team in making decisions following a release. I also want to reflect on that we've changed based on feedback and these updates. Looking back since September, here's what's been delivered. Getting content right for every level. Split arcs landed, talked about that, covered that. Not happy with that completely. Battle Pass and early grade clarity. For G3 we shifted away from choice rewards. I'd be interested, do the G3 guys miss choice rewards? Do you miss getting what you wanted and being and
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
I think that's a bit of a miss as well. I agree.
It was a terrible move, and we told him it was a terrible move.
And combine it with the alliance tournaments where they now could do a task if they had those tokens, maybe.
Yeah.
It's
It's just a problem where they keep listening to the same people, and the same people keep blowing that smoke up their butt, saying, "Yeah, this is a great idea." And stop listening to those people.
Because I mean, correct me if I'm right, Murphy. Thank you so much. 22-month resub. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate it. I don't recall anybody when choice rewards came out giving it. I don't remember one negative comment about the concept of choice rewards. I just don't remember one. So
there were some people that felt.
Go on.
There were some people that felt
negative.
They wanted them all, as they did in the original Battle Pass.
The only real negative, if we want to be
honest,
is the fact that you get epics from Crystal and none of the others, which was always a Battle Pass thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't unique to choice. People just now became more cognizant of that.
Yes.
But that was the only, I think, legitimate negative.
Yeah, and I agree. That to me is more, that's not a conceptual issue. The concept of choice rewards was 100% positive. The actual implementation, yes, it could do some tweaks to make it more consistent across the board depending on what you picked. Like, I mean, the inflated amount of crystal that we know about, we know why, we've talked about that hundreds of times. But we know that that was going to happen. But the fact that it was so linear transfer from original to the new one is big. What are you going to do on my stream, Rev? You can do whatever you like.
No, he was just saying, hey, if there's people that, you know, are passing on bad information, name them. Like, I'm not going to do that on Loop stream. I'm not going to...
And not being funny, it's not relevant.
This is not about starting drama.
No. It's not. And it's not relevant either, is it? I mean, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Functional upgrades, Unity 6 rollout, backend gateway. Obviously, Unity 6, we're happy with the improved performance in inverted commas. That was the theory behind, obviously, Unity 6 in terms of stability. However, it also meant some people were unable to completely play the game because their devices weren't good enough. They weren't able to run Unity 6. So, I mean... but I don't know how you do that. You can't... Yeah, well, I don't think there's a way...
I felt they didn't implement that right because there was no announcement.
Comms was the issue with that. Yeah, comms was was the problem with Unity 6. I mean, if you'd have said in a month's time we're rolling out to Unity 6, these devices are no longer going to be supported, is that ideal? Mm-hmm. No. However, it gives people a month for people that are prepared to upgrade. I mean, I know that's going to be a very small portion, and you shouldn't say go buy a new phone just to play a game. That shouldn't happen. However, it does prove a bit of transparency and a little bit of clarity and obviously what they're trying to do, but it also gives people time to plan, which I mean
it also prepares them for the fact that come this arc that is going to come up on that date, they aren't going to be able to play, and they know they're not going to be able to play. It's not just a case of, oh, we just had maintenance, okay, I'll update my client, oh, I can't play now.
No, and like I said, I'm not
the other thing. You know, you're basically taking away their thing with no warning. And all of a sudden they're stuck. Now that would also affect things like putting their shields on, because if they weren't aware, oh wait, I'm not going to be able to play, well, I might play in a month, so I'll put a 30-day shield on. They can't do that now because they can't get back in.
And it's a general issue, communications. I mean, we always come back to the same thing. They don't, I mean, they've gotten better, it seems, lately, so there is hope. A slight shiver on the horizon, maybe. I mean, and they are admitting a lot of things now. Let's say if all those words follows any action, because if not, you know,
Yeah. Comms is like so many things. Comms seems to be like one of those meters where it's like, oh, this is terrible. Oh, it's getting a little bit better. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Oh, that was a fantastic piece of communication. Oh my God, they're knocking it out the park. Oh, why have they stopped communicating? Why are they talking about this? Nothing's going quite right here. This is getting absolutely shocking. Oh, shit the bed. What's happened? I need to know what's going on. My game's crashed. My game's over. Oh, they're talking about it now. It just flows. There's no consistency in the amount. Any prediction on how much of the anniversary tokens we'll be able to obtain during this week? I haven't seen any maths or charts on that. Quasar might be somebody that might be able to tell us if they've done any bits and pieces on that.
I think they told us 4 of those tokens will be available, so that means a full unlock of any of those officers you might choose.
Yeah, because the 25%.
I think it was in first blog post.
Yeah, 25% to be able to get one full unlock, pretty standard for an anniversary event, pretty much the same. But the thing with this Unity rollout, last thing before we start moving on, these things have to happen. Now, I'm a bit in the weeds on how all this stuff works. You know that. It's not my area. But the Unity and these upgrades, these back-end things in terms of changing the actual engine in which the game runs on and all that sort of thing, these have to happen to allow the game to progress. They have to happen for new things to be able to happen. So it's not like we can say, well, we're just staying on an old release, because eventually the game would be inoperable on it. So these developments have to happen, but how they happen needs to be communicated better. I don't think there's anything else to say on that. Time to effort equals progress. Clear a daily, weekly rhythm. September reduced the event bloat for G5 Plus and tightened structures. So I can't remember what specifically happened in September. Let the game work while you do. The Dauntless introduced automated hostile hunting to ease daily reps, and I have to say the Dauntless is fantastic. The fact that it's working server side and not client side, so that you can shut the game down, send it out, go do what it needs to do, come back and it's done. Happy with that. Bulk actions. Now, bulk actions, adding more areas to allow you to bulk upgrade officers and ships. There's still a massive problem with that, in my opinion. The fact that you can't, like you can with a building, go from level 1 to level 11, because that's how much that you need for an event. If you're at level 1, the only option that you've got on a bulk is to go from 1 to 30 if you're at rank 5. I think that needs to have a slider in there like we get with the building, to be able to spend what we want when we want to spend it, rather than it just being an all or nothing upgrade. But it's better than nothing, and I have used it and I do like it, but it needs to be more. But we need more areas to get those daily minutiae gone. We need the faction store, we need stuff in there, we need the gift section, we need bulk refinery in there. So we've still got a bit of work to do on the bulk actions to make our time that we're spending in game better and actually useful to us, opposed to clicking buttons. That has to happen.
Hey Lou,
I think this.
Yeah.
I think I'm sure the Dauntless is great.
Yeah.
But just a reminder, we're still like 48 days away from unlocking it free to play. It would be really nice
mid-January
if they could put some blueprints in the month of December, so that we could, all of the free to play could get unlock the Dauntless before Christmas, or at least before the New Year.
Totally agree.
And if you get it, then you are years away from tier.
Yeah.
I mean,
honestly,
it's lower than the Vindicator, and I don't get why. I mean, I can say on a good account at tier 4, I can do Mirror Universe 68s. So that chip is quite powerful, but it's slow. And
yeah, it's just slow. And this comes back to the give the ship, source the ship ASAP. This is the same conversation we had with the Vengeance. Source the bloody thing, get it in people's hands. The pain should be coming in upgrading it. I don't mean I want everybody to find it a painful experience, but because it's not acquiring the ship it's not even step 1, because for most people at tier 1 most ships are useless. The whole pain should be in upgrading the ship and working towards it, and there should be events and stuff to do that. So I agree, so we need to be able to do it. Alliances, front and go on, mate.
It's true, Lube. I will tell people this. Potts, there's a very good chance that could happen. It all depends on these hot fixes that are coming out. If as everything goes well and the hot fixes work straight away and doesn't require maintenance for the Dauntless fix, I can tell you that we can easily push for BPs after that. So leave it with us. But first things first is once it's working and fixed, then I think more of those options are more available for us to push through. So that's definitely on our list. So thank you very much for bringing it up.
Rage Staff, thank you so much for the follow.
It would be nice if they had it for Christmas, because, Christmas is coming up and
Yeah,
people are going
exactly.
to be busy.
Exactly. And Bitash, thank you so much for the follow. Welcoming in, guys. Welcoming in. Nice to see you. Tier 10, 68s in the MU. Yeah, see, mine's only tier 7 and I'm doing 68s in the MU quite comfortably. But I'm an ops 71, so take that as you will. If you're ops
I mean, tier 4 and it works.
It does.
Okay, my account is pretty well developed, but that thing works.
But even mine's
Beautifully.
garbage on the 70s. Mine's garbage on the 70s. It kills like 10, which is it's not worth even sending it out. Right, move on to the next thing. Alliances front and centre.
Guess we need to work on your crew.
Moving on. Alliance tagging. We shipped alliance tagging in September mid-month to help communicate more clearly. Alliances focus playstyles. Yeah, okay. More alliance-driven scoring. The alliance tagging does nothing for me. Yeah, half packs of the BPs would be nice to get back as well. I agree, Sid. It'd be nice to see half packs in there. More alliance-driven scoring, interim schedules, including more alliance-focused. I've said this about alliance tournaments. Alliance tournaments should be. Again, I'm not going to regurgitate it. It should be alliance tasks. It should be, right, we've got to go out, guys, as an alliance. We've got to go kill 500 swarms. Take your Franklins, go kill a load of swarms. That's what we've got to do. We've got an hour. Go and do it. Do you know what I mean? That's what alliance tournament should have been. It should have been alliance-driven activities. Even if what you're actually doing during that hour is pointless to my progression, like killing swarms, which is why I've used that. I think it's fun. I think it's engaging. I think it's working as a team. I think it'd be great. You're JV. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you had a really good time over well, you're in Chicago, but I hope you had a really good time with everybody there. The Vengeance combat performance. We tuned the Vengeance mid-month in response to feedback and investigation on the performance of the ship in the live game. Access and sourcing. We have broadened the sourcing through events, and Outpost has brought direct, consistent sourcing to the game through gameplay. I'm not talking any more about Vengeance sourcing. It's still not good enough. It's still crap. They need to source the Vengeance like hell so people can unlock it and allow the upgrading of it. As I've just been talking about with the Dauntless, the upgrading of it should be where even remotely part of the pain comes. Shipyard management. They've added hangar space. I'm happy with that. But for me, hangar space was...
Hold on, Luke.
Go on, mate.
I feel like you glossed over such... Look, one big issue I have with this article is it feels like Connor might have broken his arm, patting himself on the back so much. You know, the combat performance section, you didn't do anything to improve the Vengeance. You nerfed the cube. And now you're bragging about access and sourcing when now Vengeance sourcing is actually worse than it was 2 months ago. Like,
the reason I didn't dive into that, mate, is only because you maybe wasn't here for 20 minutes we spoke about the Vengeance, and
fair.
Everything you've just said I've already done. I've said that. The new sourcing is garbage. We talked about its usefulness in G7. We talked about the fact that they, in my opinion, fixed the sourcing for 1 week and then broke it worse than it was before they fixed it. We had that conversation, but I agree from the outset. Anybody that's joined later on and thinks that I'm skirting over it, go back and watch the 20-minute section that I did on the
definitely
Vengeance.
don't want to say that you're scared to go over it. I don't.
No, it's not in the slightest.
That's just been such an awful experience for anybody even not even 70 plus. For those who are preparing for it at 68, 69, it is
awful.
And for them to write into their novel that they're doing something. It's why I call this entire thing a massive fluff piece. I really hope people don't read this and feel any type of optimism. This was terrible.
My closing comments I don't think will be too far from yours. Hangar space, for me, this was a sticking plaster over their inability to decide on a mechanic for how G5 scrapping is going to work. Fact. That's what they did to appease the people that were unable to build and spend on their new ships because the ship hangar was full, because it was full of G5 ships that they couldn't scrap. They just extended it. For me, it was just a sticking plaster. Do I like the fact that I've got more shipyard spaces? Yes. Do I think they'll ever take them away? No, I don't. But for me, it's G5 scrapping is the underlying issue to this, and it does reference it. We know G5 scrapping is a hot topic, and we are making intentional changes to our roadmap to make space for it release before July of 2026.
But also, Luke, on that one, they're very clear about how the payouts versus today's economy can over-accelerate progression.
Okay.
It's that specific sentence. You know, I have no hair left, otherwise I'd pull it out. But basically, it's like I get it.
I don't.
Over progression is actually a good thing. And you want more
Nigel,
people
do you hear that?
The whole progression. The whole
It's
progression.
not
You're
like
the
we
world's
should-
smallest violin playing right now.
It's horrendous.
Uh,
Honestly, the
I mean,
whole
It's
progression
not like
thing.
we should talk about 6 scrapping now because it's over. I mean, come on.
The whole game is geared. The whole game is geared, and it is set up to over-accelerate players' progression for one reason, and we know what it is. You go too far, too fast, not prepared enough, so that you spend money to catch up to make your account worth what it should be at the level that you're at. We know that that is a fundamental element of the game. Using today's economy could over-accelerate progression, so we pulled back on the version of scrapping planned is utter bollocks. It is absolute crap, in my opinion, to use that as the reason not to do it. Okay?
Yep.
Useless as a
I mean,
reason.
especially since they shoot themselves in the foot with the jelly scrapping and the efficiencies that made it pay for itself.
Yeah, but no,
plus all the other stuff.
I disagree because now today's game is G6, G7. Okay, that is the upper echelons of the game.
Yeah.
That's where it's right. The fact that I can scrap a jelly and get a load of G5 materials, G5 ship is useless to me. I've got the ability to build 7 jellyfishes. I will never build another one. I will never scrap another one because it's just not relevant to me. It doesn't matter. Accelerating the earlier gameplay with the jelly loop for me was fantastic. Was that maybe a slight outlier and slightly better than it maybe should have been? Maybe. You know what I mean, I can maybe concede to that. But in the grand
Absolutely,
scheme of
I think
but the
that's what
grand
they
scheme
feel
of things,
to-
long term,
No,
does
no,
it matter? No.
let me jump in here. Let me jump in here because there's a statement that's been made in the chat which I want to point out specifically that this is why they may take that information and take it far. So scrapping is barely useful for progression, especially when the rev exists for materials. Incorrect piece of information, McShiz. Do not say things like that because the problem is they think that, and that's why the G5 scrapping has done this, that, and whatever. I think G5 scrapping speed, however long it takes to scrap the ship, will be how you can slow it down.
Yeah.
And then you can update it and make it faster with efficiency.
Agreed.
Please don't say things like that because they take what you say very seriously when it comes to those sentences.
I agree. And using things like that, because and obviously materials are being sourced in generation with things like the Revenant. This is a point of getting old stuff and turning it into new stuff, and that should be a bonus as opposed to an in-generational sourcing element. Okay,
Exactly.
so to me that's just a null argument. It's just a null argument, and the problem I'm feeling is that by reading this statement is that's the sort of thing that they're listening to when they're making these decisions.
They're obviously getting that specific type of feedback. Which is why that specific type of feedback should not go out there to them.
That's a fundamental issue. Yeah, that's a fundamental.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a fundamental issue. Go on, mate.
Can I just say, as somebody that rarely ever scraps, and I mean rarely,
get out.
I have 2 accounts and barely ever remember to scrap on either of them. My baby account has already caught up to my already mid G5s.
Yeah.
Catching up to my main account, which has just gone into G6.
Yeah.
Without any of that.
Yeah.
So the progression is fast, and that's without any of the scrapping going on.
Yeah.
And I've often seen these videos saying, "Oh, do the jelly loop, etc. You'll get good, you'll get loads of mats, etc." But without that, it's already the progression is fairly fast. So
because you crashed the threshold with the sourcing from Revenant and all the other sources. But back when it came first out, it was a nice way to get some stuff, especially parts wise in G5, because back then we hadn't all the efficiencies and stuff. So I can see that some have the fear at Scopely to kind of give us too much. But then, I mean, we're talking about G5 now. The game is at G6. G6 has
G6, G7.
Really good sourcing.
That's
look
my
at how many players are free to play at 70. So they can't really mess it up that bad that they oversource things. No. It would be a different story if we would be talking about G6 scrapping, which we should be because G7 is out.
Exactly. G6 should now be the start of the conversation. Okay. And I'm being honest with you, materials are less of a benefit to me from scrapping than what parts are now. So for me, parts are a huge part of it, and that's where scrapping came into it for me. It was all about parts. But, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's fine. My issue that I've got is that G5 scrapping doesn't play into the upper echelons of the game. And I don't think the over-acceleration of progression should be an issue with the scrapping.
I think Nigel's point is a good one. If you look at the scrapping of G4 ships, etc. It still takes over a week to scrap a ship.
Yeah.
For me. So if they feel that the G5 scrapping would be, too much material too quick,
Make it
then
2 weeks.
okay, you make it a bit
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
Which also has a thing where you've then got to make a choice
Mm.
because you've got ships like the Revenant that you need to scrap,
Yeah.
and you can scrap those within a day or a Stella. You just like you did in the G4s with the Stella.
Yeah. And that's the key to me. The thing, Netniv, that I'm trying to point out was that if Scopely heard that specific sentence that was said that I brought up, and it reached them, they would think people don't need G5 scrapping. And that's why I'm trying to point out to the fact that if they do hear that information, which is why, things like whatever needs to be expanded, because they need to hear more different voices. This is a perfect example of why you can't have 6, 7, 8 very small people inside a small thing advising a company that's $1 billion company. You've got to have a lot more people with different player styles to bring this point up and not do it. I get it. I get what McShiz is saying. He says this, that, and the other. But your first sentence that you brought up, McShiz, you may not have meant it, but that first sentence that you brought up literally means to them, oh, we don't need G5 scrapping. That's what I'm trying to stop happening to reach the wrong feedback channels, which is why we do it in such a way.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Moving on. I'm not getting into a total big knock-off argument about it. It's pointless, okay, because
I agree. Sorry.
It's fine. Okay, so and just go back to what Net was saying. I'm Ops 71. My scrapping research is decent. Not working on it for a while because scrapping doesn't play a part in my game at the moment because of the absence of G5 scrapping. And it's 7 days. So I mean, obviously I can get some helps on that, but 7 days. So if let's say 6 days after helps roughly, just make the time longer. Boom.
Yeah.
Done. Easy.
Do you remember how long it took? I mean, I remember scrapping times 20 days plus for some ships.
Exactly. I mean, like the G3 epics when they were heightened in, I think they started off at a couple of weeks. Do you know what I mean? They started off at a couple of weeks and then they moved up. But anyway, moving on. Let's move on to the 7-year anniversary. I've got an issue with the anniversary events, which I'll talk about in a second. But November marks 7 years of STFC. Congratulations to all you people that have been here for 7 years and that have joined us along the way. Honestly, this whole game is about the community. It's not about the game. I know we've spent all night talking about the game, and I like to do that. But it's all of you people, not to get too mushy. It's you people that make the game worth being here and worth playing on a daily basis, as we all do. The amount we moan about it, if we didn't have the community, we would have all gone already. So it is all about you. And for us, the last 7 years is outstanding. November marks 7 years. We're approaching it with gratitude and focus. The celebration will blend nostalgia with forward-looking updates, exclusive cosmetics, a series of events to celebrate the journey we're on, reflection on bringing G7 to the game. Our goal isn't just to celebrate the journey, but to reaffirm our long-term investment in the fleet ahead. Star Trek's 60th anniversary next year. I thought that said Star Trek's Fleet Command's 60th anniversary. I thought, Jesus Christ, I don't know if I could still be playing this in 53 years' time. Each anniversary is a chance to reflect on the past year, the path the game has taken, community has grown, etc., etc. This past year we've added, this is quite good that they've put a big thing in there, the Krenim, changed the opening of the game, brought Khan into the game, the original Khan, the proper one, which I know Rev was pleased about, created new ways for players to play cross-region with arenas, regional space, launched an expansion to set the direction of the future of the game. Development team, we're here to craft a universe for all of you to play and connect within. There have been challenges, but the universe today is absolutely richer and more connected than it was 12 months ago, and we have more coming up to bring that to life. Okay, one of my issues with the anniversary events is that they've become very, very samey. Okay, super samey. Basically, we get a free epic unlock. We've had that for 4 years now, maybe even 5. At the anniversary, we get a free unlock.
Half an unlock.
You can get 4 tokens, can't you? At 25%, it's a full unlock in it.
I thought it was a 50%.
I think
I read about 4 tokens.
I think it's 4 tokens over the week for a full.
But to your point, that's nothing new, right?
Yeah.
If anything, I'd argue like the celebration
it's harder.
for the anniversaries has gone down the past couple years versus building up each anniversary.
Yeah, for me, it should be getting more and more and more. 2 weeks at 2 a week, 4 tokens, 25% of the time. Okay, so but my argument is that these events should be feeling more and more rewarded. And an officer unlock when it first came out. Honestly, I can't tell you how exciting it was. 4 years down the line, getting a full unlock of 5 of 11 doesn't mean what it meant before. And the selection of officers are decent, they're good, it's fine, but there's that many officers in the game now that 100, 110, 115 shards doesn't move the needle like it did 3 or 4 years ago when there was less officers. Daft as it sounds, the potency of that addition of shards is less progression than what it was 4 years ago because there's so many more officers in there. Okay, it's big. I think the bit where they're saying about we've changed as a game, we feel more connected than we did 12 months ago. I'll be honest with you, I feel like from a connection perspective between the players and Scope, I feel like that bit's gone a little bit backwards in the last 12 months. I could be reading into this wrong.
I would say the players are more connected.
Yeah, but I think, yeah.
We're not with the game.
No.
Well, I'm not even sure about that because I'm actually finding
I have people
more...
literally begging Net to make a hide veil chat. So I mean, like,
yeah, that's true. But we in fact, I think we did that. I think that whilst individual players in alliances are definitely getting more connected and definitely feel more thingy with one another.
Frisky.
As the servers go, what I'm seeing is that servers seem to be less outside of Discord. They seem to be less kind of friendly to each other and there's less engagement with other alliances.
I mean, I even see, this could be specific to me, I even noticed that although my alliance chat's busy, I noticed my alliance chat is even when we have bad months. Like for me, Outposts is a bit of a non-event. I mean, a 6-hour mechanic to get buffs that I don't care about, to pull some refinery tokens. I just feel like the whole conversation is a lot less. I think, do you know what some of that's down to? Some of that is down to the fact that we don't get many alliance participation events anymore. People don't need to run armadas as a team. How many people do you see going out and running level 60 epic armada and they just go and do it on their own and nobody joins? Or they're going to run solos and they're doing solo waves now. When was the last time that you ran a proper wave? I ran one on stream because I've got my level 30 account that can't do solo waves yet. But I feel like the team-based mechanics over the last 18 months with the introduction of solo activities have fallen off a cliff. Now, I'm maybe part of that problem because I welcome the ability for me to go out and do a solo wave in 4 minutes rather than spending 5 minutes organising a team, telling people where to go and then having to do a 10-wave wave. Yeah? Doing a 10-wave wave.
Hold on, Luke.
Go on, mate.
I actually don't want you to word it as if it's not, you're not part of the problem. You're not. And I actually think that this is actually part of the issue with STFC is as players, we tend to feel like, well, I'm the issue. I'm taking the easy way out. I'm hurting people. No, it's their bad design that's leading you to go do the solo stuff. You don't blame yourself. We have to continually make sure that we're not just sitting here as like, Stockholm syndrome. We've been here for 7 years and we're just accepting things. No, it's their bad design causing it. Same thing with surges. Like, even in the article, their whole argument for the surge is, well, the redeeming quality is as more people get into G7, more will do them. How about make it to where we enjoy doing them now?
Well, make it so that there's actually a point to an Ops 50 or a 55 or a 60 going and doing a surge. Make the rewards actually relevant for people to want to go and do it. Because I've said it 3 times now, incentive drives behaviour. But, I mean, I blame myself, and I think to myself about my gameplay as I was reading that and talking about connection. I sometimes realise that it gets to the time when I'm logging off and I've not written all day in Alliance chat. People wouldn't even know that I'd played the game, but I've been on, I've done my dailies, I've done some solo armadas, I've maybe done a solo wave, I've done all the battle passes, all 93 of them. Do you know what I mean? And I've been able to do all that without even using anybody within my alliance. And for me, this isn't an alliance, it's a team, it's a community-driven game. Because everything else, all them other activities that I've done is just me going and clicking a different red triangle or a different armada. Do you know what I mean? The whole point of this game for me was that community and interaction.
Oh, I completely agree with you.
And
I just don't want to blame you for it.
No.
You're inundated with crap.
Yeah.
And then you're like, dang, I feel bad. I didn't even hang out with my friends because I had so much work to do.
Yeah. And then the flip side to it is that I've done that and I've realised that what I have done from a connection standpoint with people in the game is that I've gone on to I've had my iPad up whilst I've been watching telly and I've been doing my dailies and clicking, but then I've had my phone in my other hand and I've been talking on Discord to people in the game, whether that be Stewie, whether that be BK in my alliance, whether that be Nige, do you know what I mean? Whether that be the time that I get to talk to Rev when our time zones collects. Do you know what I mean? The times where we get to have those conversations, I send more messages on Discord now than I do in game, and that's flipped itself a lot since becoming a content creator. That I understand that was going to be something, but I would never have said that 2 or 3 years ago that I type more on Discord than I do in AC. Our AC was constant. I mean, I don't. This could be a terrible time. Let's see when the last messages were in my. Yeah, look at this. So we've had a couple of armadas start in the last 30 minutes, and then there was a little bit of conversation. There was, but there hasn't actually been a post of somebody speaking in my alliance chat for 33 minutes.
Well,
I mean,
I'll go back to what Rev said about the design. And if you think about it, when we joined a new server and we're all sort of progressing up, so we'd be telling each other, "Oh, we'll use this crew, use that crew, do this, do that." And obviously, as we've grown up, we've got that knowledge ourselves, and we don't really need it except for some of the newer stuff. But we also had group armadas because we had to go to do group armadas to get all the uncommon loot, which then led us to do the next things and then the next things, and all of that drove us to be more community based in the game. So we would ask, is anybody doing this? Because I need this for my pull, and there was a lot of that.
But I can do everything on my own because I can do everything on my own.
And on top of that, the chat in game is just it's shit. I mean, private messages disappearing if you're switching devices, coming back when you're doing incursions. On the desktop client, sometimes you can't even scroll past 2 or 3 screens and then it stops. I mean, why post even there? Why do we need to go to Discord? There is no friends list. There is nothing like any modern game has. So sometimes it's more about how they do it and what the game is doing, because or translation in game. I mean, it's less an issue in America over there for the US people, but in Europe, a lot of people
multiple languages
are just lost because if you don't speak English, you can't even understand the chat.
I get it. I totally get it.
We actually get the reverse, because on our chat, quite often the Germans will take over, and then you're just going, "Oh, okay, I need to translate that." So yeah, I agree with you. In the European side, it is a lot
Different
more
with the language
common
barrier.
for it to be multicultural.
Yeah.
And it just, like Rose says, it is down to the design of the game where we've got to, because like Luke said, he's now able to do most things on his own. I mean, the only thing that the 2 things that I really need other people for are the Revenant group polys and the relativity formation armadas.
But if I was to go back to when, for me, this game was at its peak, and this is a perfect example for me, because the mechanic itself and the actual loop itself, it wasn't loved. It had problems. It had pay points. It had massive pain areas, but everybody did it. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody worked together. I'm going to go back to what I think was potentially my favourite arc ever in this game, and that was the Stella. Okay, the Stella had single mechanics, it had group mechanics, it had challenges. It's literally only been in the last few years where people have been able to solo the level 45 epics. Do you know what I mean? With relative ease. That even those 45 epics hit hard, and that whole loop was hard, difficult research tree, trying to get to, was it 140 or 160 out of 160, I forget now, trying to work on all those researches. And do you know what, honestly, anybody that was here during that Stellar arc will probably agree with me that it didn't feel perfect, but oh my god, it was
I'm a strong
engaging.
Ghost Red. That's still one of the worst pieces of content ever
awful.
introduced in the game.
It's awful.
Hands down.
But from a connection,
easily one of the worst.
But you openly said on your main account, and I remember this years, you were shamed about this for years, that your M score was like 9. Do you know what I mean? For about three, because you didn't play it. But me personally, my alliance, we played it a lot. Do you know what I mean? All of the times we used to say, who's running the Stellar Marders? Who's going to do them? Let's go do some epic. I need some rare loot for my pulls. I want to get this up there. Do you know what I mean? We worked it was great for our alliance. We loved it.
Yeah,
it was
I love
fantastic.
that. I think that's fantastic. I think it's another one of those, like, it's a Vidar situation. Like, yeah, there are definitely people who enjoy it. You know what's wild? I'll give you a wild example of what I'm saying. You know what we enjoy the most in Horde on server 710 right now?
Go on.
Star bases. You don't know why? Because it's a common goal for my mostly G3, G4 players to work towards, even though it has no purpose.
No.
They love it.
Yeah, but
For the reasons you're speaking, but I'm not going to call Starbases a successful mechanic.
No, and I think I opened the gambit with that it had problems, it had pain points. Nobody really liked the actual loop itself, but it forced you to work as a team.
Yeah,
if you
I love
wanted
what
to
you're saying.
progress with it.
It's about the community. That's what we should have more of.
Yeah. But even the convoluted element of, right, okay, let's try and I need to get it back to tier 3 because I want to start scrapping it. Oh, no, tier 4's miles better. Get it to tier 4, get it to level 16, then scrap it. But then you've got to work again. Yeah, I've got my shitty tier 1 now. Right, okay, the next event store, you've got to get a second Stellar. Max the first Stellar, leave it there, and then work. Just keep scrapping it at tier 4, tier 7s to get... Do you know what I mean? There was you had to talk, you had to communicate, you had to work together to help each other out, and then people turned up. And the best thing about Armadas was when people turned up and you scanned the crew and they had Pike Moreau Chen and you said, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of my Armada. So as much as that sounded horrendous, you then said to him, right, okay, you should be running, go back to that time. You need to be running Kirkspot Khan. That's the crew that you need to be running for it. So not only was it team working and team building and you're working together, it was actually educational because you were talking about crews, you were talking about strategy, you were telling them what to stack defense for, Spock's shield repair and all that sort of. Do you know what I mean? You was having those conversations that you just don't have anymore. Every now and again, I'll go. I don't have them anymore. I can't remember the last time.
To promote Horde yet again, Revs Alliance, but that does actually happen. Yeah, we've got a whole section of G3 players that are going through that still loop right now, and they are actually helping each other out and telling,
And
then we have us upper ones that are then coming along with our big ships to basically help them do the big ones.
No, and I love that. And the Stellar for me just felt like the one where as a team we were the most connected. Just going back to the same, that feeling that we are absolutely richer and more connected than it was 12 months ago. I don't agree with that sentiment.
On the flip side, if you look at my main account, my alliance, that doesn't happen. People go off and do their own Stellars at their own levels, and there isn't much communication about it anymore because most of our players are beyond it.
Exactly.
This is part of why I say, for me, and not to override, I feel like we're taking over Loop streams. You tell me to shut up whenever, but it's part of why I tell people, I think the G3, G4, like restarting the game is such more fun because that's where you can experience that stuff again. You don't have it in G6 and G7 anymore. It's just, oh, I've finished this job. I feel like the peon in Warcraft. Job done, and just go on to the next thing. And that's it. That's your life now.
It is. My life is a tick box. My life is a to-do. My life in STFC is a to-do list. I go to my dailies because I need to do my dailies for my reputation and my small drip of faction credits for G7. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit and I'm going to look at my events. What events have I got to do to get more G7 material? The game to me is a checklist. It's not a, what do I want to do today? Do you know what I mean? Yes, there are periods once I've done my to-do list, then I'll go and do some stuff that I want to do. I'll go help people out. There's nothing that I like more than when I check AC and somebody says, will you come and help me with this? Do you know what I mean? I love it when they say that. Will you come and help me do this polygon? Will you come and carry me through this level 60 Armada because I'm not quite there yet? I will look at the crews. I will PM them. I'll say, why don't you change this for this? Why don't you go to that? Because I'm going back to the things that I enjoy doing. But my gameplay, I don't need them. I don't need, in the nicest possible way, I don't need anybody to help me at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
It sounds to me like as Stewie's personality, a stellar loop.
Yeah. Brilliant. Hang on. There you go. Okay. Right.
Good job, Nigel.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Jesus
Thank
Christ.
you. Thank
Christ
you. I'd like
almighty.
to, thank Stewie's
the bed.
smoke alarm that keeps going off every 3 seconds and everything like that. But yes.
Well, Stewie's actually not getting to hear that at the minute, unfortunately, because he reckons.
No, he is.
He's
online.
Right.
Unbugged him,
He's
so he's
online.
had to use a
Okay.
VPN just to get in.
Let me dive through this. So looking ahead, Mid-Ops causality arc is just a start of a more cohesive narrative to the middle of the player journey. And the Outpost feature will bring new strategic combat and rewards into 2026. Perhaps most importantly, we're committing to clearer timelines, concrete fixes with change to release plans happening. A lot of words, not a lot of commitment. As we consider the direction of Fleet Command, our strategy is to deliver bold new variety. I wish people would piss off with that. It makes me look at it every time. Reward mastery of your ships that you've built, not just unlock once and then forget content. Some of these encounters will be hard at launch. This is intentional, so that we want to create those "can anyone do this yet" moments and make eventual victory feel earned. Don't disagree with that as a concept. Future hostiles and missions will demand different crews, ship setups, breaking the current meta, encouraging experimentation similar to the first G7 hostiles. The issue with the way that they positioned it, including the G7 hostiles, is that once that meta was found, once the people started realizing that Suda, Seska, PQ, they are the 3 key officers in G7. There is no other officer more pivotal than Suda, Seska, and PQ. They are the 3 keys. They are the 3 keys that you need to unlock G7. It's a fact. But once you've done that, I've gone from my day one. Bear in mind, this was what, 7 weeks ago. Day one, I was able to kill 1. We're now 6 weeks later. I've worked on those officers, maxed 2 out of 3 of them, tiered my ship up once, and I'm now killing 17, 18 a hull.
Oh, nice.
So my argument with them when they made this is like, none of this is actually new. You're using old officers. Like, I know you mentioned PQ. Janeway is for a lot of people, but if you have Wrath of Khan Carol below decks, then you just put Chang at top. That's what a lot of the high 70s are using.
Yeah,
this is all antiquated stuff.
Yeah.
Like, nothing that they're presenting is actually new. Yeah, there's that initial challenge of, okay, let's take our 200 officers and figure out what works. But it's not actually a new strategy or a new meta. It's just like, oh yeah, that officer you forgot about 3 years ago. Use that instead.
Now the one that you need to use. It's like, even going back to when a Leslie crew works in certain scenarios where you've only got to kill 1. Do you know what I mean? A day, whatever it was.
Yeah, they said the same thing in the outpost section. I'm over here screaming, what do you mean? We've been using the same gold hostile crews for 7 years. Like,
I know.
What do you mean we have a new challenge?
It's presented as a brand new hostile type. Does it work exactly the same as gold hostiles? No, it's coded differently. Is it virtually identical? Yes, it is. Do you know what I mean? Yes, it is. It's not different.
Yeah, but see, that's they
1
get
of 11.
so hung up on their old
Shiz is right.
on the back
1 of 11.
where they don't see that, right?
Yeah, but what would be new? I mean, giving us a new officer. Well, that's it's new, but it's not different. I mean,
well, actually, let me stop you there, Quasel. What if it wasn't an officer that the loop was dependent on? What if it was a mission you had to complete or a series of missions? What if it was an actual artifact you had to max out and that's what made you better? Change up the actual system of how something works. We've been doing the officer quote unquote meta for 7 years. And that's that innovation they don't dedicate time to. But man, they dedicate a lot of time to designing new packs each month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but do you want them really to come out with something like that mission set where you had to gamble on which way you were going to do things and which choice you were going to make?
Honestly, yes. And here's why, Ned. Normally, I would have said no, but we're 7 years in. This year has seen 40,000 accounts gone. At this rate, you have maintenance mode by 2027. Yes, you need to drastically start changing things. And some things might fail, but if you get drastic enough, you're going to have some huge wins as well as huge losses. Absolutely. 2 years ago, I'm with you. I would have been like, yeah, that's way too much bother. We don't have a game in 2 years. So we should start doing some drastic things and trying some things out.
Yeah, we just don't want it to be a, because they introducing the tokens again to allow us to play it again, didn't they?
I get what you're saying. And I'm definitely not saying that, spur of the moment, I just came up with this grand idea. My point is effort needs to be made to be doing something that's actually groundbreaking and new, not essentially a copy and paste of something we've already done.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
I mean, after 7 years, everything, I get the feeling sometimes feel like copy and paste because artifacts are just a different way of doing research. Fleet commanders in the end. Fleet commanders are in the end the same. In the end, you can distill the whole game into clicking some target and sending a ship to attack it.
Well, it is. I mean, you've got prototype, you've got chaos tech, there's a lot of copy.
I'd like to see, I don't know, set bonuses and officers at least, or something like that, or give us, I don't know, set bonus for.
Let me use an example of something, Quasel, that would be new. That was literally in their 2025 roadmap that would add to what Lube is talking about, officer meta changing. They promised in 2025 in the roadmap that you'd be able to change out officers on the fly. If you needed to do that for certain mechanics, there you go. There's something genuinely new for a new loop.
Yeah, you have a loop where each hostile. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just having 3 hostiles, every single battleship you've got to go into it and you've got to see what stats it's been launched with. It's been launched with this ridiculous amount of shield health or ridiculous amounts of armor piercing, which means that what crew works on the one that's got ridiculous dodge, for example, doesn't work. So you've got to have the right below deck so that you can change out a couple of different officers to make that work on the fly. Do you know what I mean? That's new. It's engaging, but you've only got to kill five of them a day. So yes, you've got to scan, you've got to go through, you've got to look at their abilities. But it just makes it just that little bit more than
especially
point
if
and
the
shoot.
hostile was different every day. Too.
Yes.
Like if you did it on a Monday, it's different than you do it on a Thursday. Stuff like that.
There's a rotation.
Totally with you. But
I don't need
looking at
6
outposts-
hours of sitting around an outpost with Q trial. I'm sorry, not Q trial. With gold hostile boss officers taking up 2 of my fucking docks. Sorry for the profanity.
But then,
I
you know how many people have no idea how to crew their ships for outposts? I mean, imagine them needing to check an hostile every day. I mean, I would absolutely love it. I'm totally behind you.
It'd be so fun.
And
It'd be
it
so
would
fun.
be great.
But it will
I
force
guess
people.
a lot of the community would just phase out because it's too much
Do you know-
for a mobile game.
I know, but the people that want to do it, it'll bring them back into AC. This battleship keeps kicking my ass. But that battleship that I killed 2 battleships ago, it took 1% of my hull. Why the hell am I getting such different results? Well, it's because you need to just go in and check this one stat. Check this one stat. If it's this number, you've got to just switch to this. And if it's one number that you've got to change. Do you know what I mean? It creates conversation. It creates teaching moments. I'm not talking about this selfishly from a content-driven, I want people to come and watch me to understand what to do in a loop. I'm not looking at it from that point of view. I'm looking at it from the game. Yes, I love the fact that we have content. I love the fact that there's 161 people on 2 platforms currently sat watching me and us all 6 or 7 of us on the stage jibber jabber on obviously about the current state of the game mechanics. Do you know what I mean? I love that element to it. I'm talking about the nitty gritty daily grind within the game and the fact that this game is driven completely around community sentiment. It's driven around the team-based elements of it, and I feel like we've stepped away from that so much, and it's become a solo one track clicker game that's got an outside community. The outside community is Twitch, YouTube, Reddit, podcasts, Discord. That's where the community happens. None of that happens in game anymore because people don't need it. What crew do I need? Run
what you're
Janeway
basically
Seska
describing is an MMO RPG versus an ARPG, where an MMO is meant to be community oriented. An ARPG might have online elements, but it's basically a single player game, and that's the shift they've made. They've made this a single player game.
I agree, and that's so this whole roadmap. I want to give my closing thoughts because we've gone over our time a bit, but I think it was a great conversation, and I want to thank everybody for being on the stage for doing it. But I want to give my closing thoughts to this, and then I'll go around everybody that's on and see if there's anything that they want to add. My closing comments on this is that I think the message that he's trying to convey is what we want to hear. I feel like this sounds like what he said before. I don't think this is sufficient enough to make me feel like we're even started to set course to turn a corner. Do you know what I mean? I don't even think we've started plotting a course to turn a corner, let alone even began turning the ship around to make some of these wholesale changes. I think there's so much more that needs to do. I think they need to involve the likes of the content creators, the mods more, obviously Pack more. I think they need to get those people involved far earlier before they start doing these things as a fundamental change. The game needs to feel better when it's launched. And as much as we talked about the fact...
Luke?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Is it just me or he cut off like abruptly?
Yeah.
No,
I think he's cut off.
Okay, I just want to make sure it
wasn't.
wasn't just me. I was like,
Can you hear me now?
Let's have a see if the stream is still going.
Can you hear me now?
Can you guys hear us on the stream?
Yes.
Oh, yes, we can hear you now, Luke.
Oh, you can hear me. Sorry.
there we go. Yeah, you cut out. I was like, oh god,
Oh,
what
sorry.
happened to Luke?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, I'm back. But I don't know where I got to. But my point is that I don't think they've gone far enough. I don't think they've started to turn the ship around. I don't really think they've set course to turn the ship around. And I don't find this being. This doesn't motivate me to think that we've got a direction yet. I don't even think we're at the point of having a direction. And I think there are people making decisions that are unable that don't understand the game well enough that are making the decisions. And this isn't a dig at Connor. This isn't a dig at any one particular party, group of people. It's not.
It's just a statement of fact.
It's a fact. It is. It's a fact. And I just feel like that that was a lot of words. And to be honest, it doesn't do a lot for me. It doesn't do a lot for me. I think
the only thing it was missing, Lube, was the quality over quantity promise. That's all it was missing.
If not, it's what we've heard. No, but it's the same blog post written longer, written by somebody higher up. We used to get these from community managers. Then we started getting these from people that were in live ops and devs. Now we've moved up to the GM of the game. Do you know what I mean? This is a high guy at Scope. This is a high guy at Scopely. Obviously, he was the GM for one of their big properties. I know it's not their biggest anymore. One of their big properties. This is an important guy at Scopely. Do you know what I mean? That we're now getting to the point where he's having to talk, and the message coming through is exactly the same as the message that, in my opinion, we got 3 and 4 years ago about, we know things aren't right, we know things need to change, we're on the process of changing.
Remember, he was here 3 or 4 years ago. That's
Agreed.
who trained him.
Yes.
So, and again, this doesn't mean that Connor's a bad person.
No.
Who he's listening to, and all the things that are going on, comes back to him.
Yeah.
And there needs to be a change.
Yeah, and this isn't personal shaming. This is not a personal attack on anybody.
Yeah.
This is coming from a group of people, all of us with interest in however you want to say it, whether that's a vested interest in terms of the game needs to survive for whatever reasons, or whether that's because we just want to continue playing this game with our friends because we love the game. This comes from a position of love for the game and love for the community, and the fact that we want it to work, we want it to be here in 5 years' time. Is it going to be here in 20 years' time? No. No, Jerry, but we want it to be here for the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, because the game, the property has the potential. The game, the property, the Star Trek property, it so has the potential to do it. But I just don't feel like they are listening to Proto's nailed it. I don't feel like they understand their customer. And at the 7-year anniversary mark, I feel like they're getting worse at understanding the customer.
Yeah.
Which is the scary bit.
Yeah, I did my video on it today. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you got to go. You got like this whole like wife thing and family.
I'm going to shoot
that stuff. But I do want to say thank you for letting me on your stage.
Oh, no, it's absolutely. Honestly, it's I'm always happy to have people on the stage. Obviously, we've got a fair few. Net, Rev, Quazel, Nige, Puts, all of you. Obviously, you've all provided really different input and really, really valuable input. So thank you. Honestly, it's so much better. And all of you guys in chat. I know not all of you was on the chat. I couldn't possibly have all of you on the stage as much as I would like to. But there's been some fantastic comments, and I think we all want the same thing. We want the game to be better. We want it to be engaging, and we want it to turn a corner. And this post doesn't do that for me. I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't think this is it.
Yeah. And that's the big clippable moment. If anybody in Twitch wants to clip it, because like to summarize everything that Lube just read, if that's where we've gotten to, like at this point, I mean, I don't want to use the word sad because it sounds like being negative, but it says a lot that because we're the 3rd largest Twitch streamer. Like, I'm not trying to be boasting or anything. Like, you're an important dude in this circle. Like, being for real. And if you read this and go, like to quote our good friend Ripper, that's not good. No. That's not good at all.
No, it's not. It's not. But
I will say that from my point of view, the post itself is just a lot of extra words that really weren't necessary. Summarize a few points that could have easily been made. I think Rev already said this as well.
Yeah.
There are some technical bits that I'm glad they acknowledged in there because, looking at those.
I love the iOS one. If we just want to put out a positive, I love they actually gave numbers for the iOS and Android issues. Love that.
Yeah. And also with the technical issues that they've got to overcome. Yeah, that's great because, we've been saying this is what we think is the problem, and now they've actually acknowledged it there in writing. So what they do about that, though, there's no clear map really there. They say they're going to do these things going forward, and they've got hotfix coming. And I know Nigel's probably got more information than I do on that, but obviously we'll have to wait and see what comes from those. In terms of overall stability, I do feel the game is becoming more stable than it was.
Can't disagree.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nev, and you, Lube, and as well, Rev. I just want to say one thing from my side is that look at how many people there are on this stage and listen to these words very carefully. Look how many different opinions there are for the same thing on this stage. So if you need this many people to give different opinions and do a debate and feedback, then maybe you should expand the people you're listening to the amount of people that are different playstyles in the game, which give you very broad feedback. The leaders of each community. Rev's got a leader of his community. Lube and the officer toolset is the biggest Discord community that's currently available. You know, the people that deal with the VIP, the people that deal with official. Don't take people away from the conversation. No. Bring them into it because they represent these communities in a massive, massive way. And that's why I agree with Spectre saying PAC needs to be a wide range of the player base. Yeah. That, to me, if that's the feedback you're getting, that's what's missing. For me, please open it up.
The PAC
Thank
concept.
You for bringing that up because I think PAC is great, but it's sad that PAC only has one player that even comes close to representing the majority of the players.
PAC is honestly, PAC is one of the best concepts. It is one of the best concepts, and I'm so glad that it exists. And I am blaming PAC. This post isn't PAC. The whole reason that PAC has been brought up is because they're the guys obviously that are getting the information earlier than what the likes of myself, Nigel, Stewie, earlier than what we're getting it. They're seeing this early, which you get now. That's not to say that they are influencing and making the decisions and everything. They are not doing that. They are not writing the game, people. Anybody that doesn't understand what PAC is there for, it is there as an advisory council. It's there to provide advice, and that council just needs to be slightly bigger. It just needs to be bigger.
Yes.
It doesn't need to be 100 people. It doesn't need to be 100 people. It needs to be bigger.
I don't know, Nigel or Luke, how many staffers do they have that play the game for 4 or 5 years or more? Because we have so much knowledge here, because people have played that game for years, invested time into it, have analyzed the hell out of it, the stuff Jules does and all the others.
I know.
And why don't use that brains to give you feedback about things that might work or not? And sure, everybody, like Rev said, has his different view on it, because we all play differently. But if they would just use a portion of that, they could stand so much better, because we could immediately tell them, okay, that's not going to work. That's a bad idea because this.
Yeah.
Like, if Jules had seen the multiphasic stuff before they released it, we could have told them, sorry, that doesn't work. Where did you do your math?
Exactly. And we're spitballing, and I'm going to summarize, and I'm going to finish off. So everybody agrees it needs to change. This isn't a hit PAC. It's nothing like that. We'll just say that we need more voices in to turn this around. We need more voices in, and we need a more diverse voice. Okay, that's where we need to be. Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure. In terms of raiding out, has anybody got anybody that they would like to raid out to? Because I do need to jump off. The only person I've got on is me Super Marbles guy that I like. I've got that Carnage guy. He's fantastic. I like him. But is there anybody? There's nobody really playing STFC. But has anybody got anybody that is on their list that they would like to raid out to? Because I'm more than happy to do it. It seems a shame to lose 100.
Norgoth just went live. He's a small STFC streamer. Norgoth Gaming.
Norgoth Gaming.
He hangs out with like Cubby and them.
Oh, right. Okay. Nice. We will raid out to Norgoth then. Thank you to everybody on the stage. Thank you all of you, and thank you everybody for being a wonderful, wonderful audience. It's been a pleasure. If you need anything, obviously, please check out our Discord. Obviously, you can get a link to that on our on YouTube. If you're looking in the comments, obviously, there's all the links and stuff that you need there. It's loop.com's got all of our content on, all of our merch. If you want to look at that, remember, if you're not, I'm sure everybody is, make sure you're following RevJuice and all the other amazing CCs as we go through this. But thank you. It's been a pleasure. We're going to raid out to this Norgoth guy. I'm sure it'll be great. Have a wonderful day, and remember that absolutely everything is better with lube. Take care, guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Yay.